Again, Michael C. Williams with the introductions.
And now once again from WinStar World Casino and Resort, Bellator MMA features the middleweight division. Set now for 500 pounds, introducing the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 185.9 pounds. His professional record, 9-7. He fights out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, Chauncey the Machine Foxworth. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 185.5 pounds. His professional record early on stands undefeated at 4-0, fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri, Johnny Eblen. And the referee in charge of the action, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee. Middleweight matchup between Eblen and the Machine. Eblen. Johnny Eblen.
And we're going with
Eblen.
First round, buddy, you ready? Buddy, you ready? Fight!
Here we go. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. Johnny Eblen is in the red gloves. Chauncey Foxworth in the blue gloves.
Johnny Eblen is a very aggressive fighter. He was aggressive as a wrestler at Missouri, and that has just carried over into his MMA. All of his amateur and his pro fights, he is a guy that he likes to get after, he likes to get in your face, and he likes to create a pressure that breaks you.
And he would like to be, John, as you pointed out, the next great mixed martial artist who wrestled at Missouri. One of them is a three-time champion in the Bellator cage. His name is Iron Michael Chandler.
Absolutely. Beautiful body lock takedown by Eblen there. You look at what Johnny Eblen is able to accomplish due to his ability to base and control, but he has turned into a guy that his stand-up has gotten very good. And you talk about all the guys at Mizzou, you got Ben Askren, Tyrone Woodley, and Michael Chandler. That's a nice compliment, and if you can even come close to what those guys have accomplished, you're going to have a heck of a career.
Are they going to replace those Randy Couture's, Johnny Hendricks, and Daniel Cormier's from Oklahoma State? Or is Mizzou the next generation?
I'll tell you what, Mizzou's got something going, man. Nice elbow inside by Johnny Eblen.
Of course, Ed Ruth and Phil Davis probably wanted to say something about that. Heavy kick from Chauncey Foxworth, fighting out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Mike Brown, Dean Thomas, James Krause, listed as the coaches, trainers for Johnny Eblen. Trains down in South Florida at American Top Team and at home in Kansas City, and he just rocked Foxworth.
Foxworth doing a good job of keeping himself under composure. He got rocked. Getting himself back to that over-under. Gives all the cobwebs out from a shot that hurt him.
Eblen, on your scouting report, partner. Very aggressive, big right hand, and we've seen both of those so far.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm seeing, he's starting to really utilize those elbows. When he gets in that clinch, he's willing to separate, to throw that elbow. That's starting to show an evolution in his fighting ability and his technique, because most times a wrestler gets a hold of you, gets his hands on you, he doesn't want to let that go. And Johnny Eblen is now starting to get to a point he's letting it go so he can land that strike and do damage to his opponent.
Good pace to the start of this fight. By both men. Foxworth closes the gap quickly.
Chauncey's losing position off a technique. You can see that he's getting himself high. He's losing the underhook, and that's why you're seeing Johnny Eblen be able to turn him where he wants. He's got both hands. He's going to go for a ride here. Chauncey needs to be very careful. He doesn't allow Eblen to take his leg and stick it over the top and end up getting his back while he's working to hold on to that Kimura grip. It's the one thing with a Kimura, Mike. Every time you grab hold of a Kimura and you try to dig it out when a guy's got it inside, it's nothing but strength. You are pulling with everything you have. And you got to be very careful because you can pull so much that you start emptying that gas tank and your arms start to go dead.
Under a minute.
Nice job by Chauncey to try to work himself back to his feet. He's not there yet. He's almost. Johnny Eblen brings that leg right back on top. Right now, Chauncey needs to keep Eblen's head down. Okay, he's going to pull him away from the fence. Don't let him get your back off of the fence. That fence is your friend. Now it's not. Nice mount position by Johnny Eblen.
Can he get a finish here with 20 seconds on the clock? Bucked off nicely by the machine, Chauncey Foxworth.
Good use of the cage, taking and wall walking to get himself over. James Krause is the real deal when you talk about being a martial artist.
Round two. Chauncey Foxworth, the machine, making his Bellator debut in the blue gloves. His opponent the same. Johnny Eblen making his Bellator debut. He is in the red gloves, round one, partner.
Round one definitely goes to Johnny Eblen, no doubt about it. Johnny Eblen does the same type of kicking attack that Matt Hughes used to do. He likes to take that step to the outside, bring the leg across. Matt Hughes became famous for doing that against Hayato Sakurai. Johnny's got that leg up. Good grip with his wrist over. Now he just decides if he wants to take and go to the body or if he wants to try to take and bring that leg in between his legs. Good job by Chauncey to move himself out. Little step off. This is the point where if you listened to the corner before, Dean Thomas was talking about get to a half guard and start to cook him, meaning I want you to get to a half guard position, put pressure, and start landing shots, and just being that guy that starts systematically wearing your opponent down.
Come on. That's it. Good. Good. Let's do that again. Guard high. That guard high.
Close guard now.
Chauncey, so far in this fight, is every time he's gotten himself with his head against the cage, he's done a good job of getting it, moving himself up and getting his back up on that cage to help him get up. We'll see if he can do it again here.
Johnny Eblen wrestled at Missouri, 87 collegiate victories. High school champion his senior year. Started wrestling at age 4. 4-0 as a professional with 4 finishes. 3 by knockout, 1 by guillotine choke. '17th career fight for Chauncey Foxworth. Coming off a rear naked choke 3rd round victory back in January.
Johnny's in that doing exactly what his coach told him. Get to that half guard, start to put pressure. You see him doing the ride. This is like Randy Couture used to like to do. Get him towards the fence, get into that ride from half guard, just start landing shots and beating your opponent down. Chauncey Foxworth is a strong individual because he's gotten himself out of some bad positions with just pure strength. You have to be impressed. Johnny Eblen brings him down with that body lock again. Chauncey is a very tough, strong guy.
Eblen, his nickname, really keeping the pressure on Chauncey Foxworth here in round number 2 with under 2 on the clock.
Again, looking for that Kimura grip. The problem with that grip is when you are in a position you don't have control of the legs, it is not a strong position for you to get that arm, and a guy can swing around. Now, the fence is going to stop Johnny from being able to do that, but you got to be very careful when you have both arms in that Kimura grip and you don't have control of your opponent's body, lower body with your legs.
Bellator fans, you want the same gear the fighters wear and more? Find new official Bellator MMA gear, Kimbo Slice bobbleheads, and much more at BellatorShop.com. Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy, our crew here inside the WinStar World Casino and Resort. 19th time they have hosted Bellator MMA. The first was Bellator 86 in January of 2013. Last time, Bellator 210, November 30th of last year.
Had a heck of a card on that night, didn't they?
Yes, indeed.
That thing was full. I was like, I wish I was.
Where were we?
I think we were in Italy.
Yeah. Genoa. Yeah, we were both wishing we were doing that one.
Nice job of getting back down. Now he's in side control position. Let's see if Johnny can start to open up a little bit and do some damage.
That's not fair. Genoa was fun, and so was Milan. Final seconds of the round. Third and final round.
Chauncey Foxworth, he's going to have to do something special in this round if he wants to win this fight.
Down 2 love. Red gloves. 4-0 Johnny Eblen. Fighting out of Kansas City. Trains an American top team under Mike Brown, Dean Thomas and the crew. Trains at home in Kansas City. Glory MMA with James Krause. Chauncey Foxworth. Trains out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, Off the Chain MMA.
Timing is everything. Just did that just a little bit off. Johnny gets down into his legs. Gonna get him down to the ground here. You see him pull those legs out towards his hips. Chauncey going back to that Kimura. But again, look where his hand's at. It's on his forearm. It's not gonna do anything from there.
Oh, big knee.
Nice chance. That's the kind of risk he's got to take, though. I give Chauncey a lot of credit for going after that.
And this is uncharted territory, big time, in the professional career of Johnny Eblen, because all 4 of his pro wins have come in the first round. His, I will say, 2 longest fights were both 2 minutes and 21 seconds. So he's got a 101, a 137, and 2 finishes at 221. He did go the distance a couple of times as an amateur, but this is the first time he's gone this deep in a fight as a professional, John.
No, this is good for him, and he needs this. But one thing you got to look at what he's got with his left arm. Right now, Johnny has the arm of Foxworth in a position where he's laced it in and he has no control of his left arm. Johnny can open up. If he takes that right hand that he has, he can open up with punches. You just let go of it.
Guys, we gotta work on this game.
Jason Herzog coming in, tell him if you got to move, do something, or I'm going to stand you. And if you're looking at Chauncey Foxworth, he's sitting there going, go ahead. I would appreciate that right now.
Saw the main event, co-main event, coming up later tonight, live on Paramount Network. Just over 90 minutes away from the start of the main card. Linton Vassell at heavyweight against Valentin Moldovsky and Sanchez and Karhanian 2 in the main event of the evening.
This is a very good fight for Johnny because he's got a guy that's not giving up on anything. North-south choke attempt, twist, gets himself out. Everything that Johnny goes after, Chauncey Foxworth says, no, I am not settling for that, and he gets himself out. This is the type of fight that changes you as a fighter. Eblen is not getting damaged, which is a good thing. He's going after a choke right here. He can possibly get a 10-finger guillotine. Not quite there yet.
He's working it, John.
He's working, but he needs to use that fence. If he can drive his hips towards the fence, he can use that fence as a leverage point to help with pressure. Doesn't have it.
Chauncey Foxworth is out with 90 seconds on the clock here in this fight.
very impressed with the effort that Foxworth has put out as far as not allowing things to just settle. Every time that Johnny puts him in a position, he fights his way through it. He gets himself to a better position. And that takes a lot of heart and a lot of desire to do, and it is making Johnny work very hard in this fight, something he hasn't had to do in any of his previous 4 professional wins.
Another takedown for the Missouri wrestler.
Chauncey again getting himself to position, trying to get himself back up. Eblen's now getting to the point he's starting to do a ride, just, you know, getting myself a nice gable grip around his waist. He's not going to go anywhere. Got my leg laced through. I'm just trying to hold on because I know this fight is getting close to the end, and I am tired of trying to put this guy in a bad position because he keeps getting out.
Well, 3 rounds, 15 minutes, no problem for Johnny Eblen. Goes the distance for the first time in his professional career.
Here's what I'm talking about. With Johnny goes inside, throws an elbow, big punch. Here's that slam he had. Second round, bringing him up and down. Didn't quite get him with that rotation exactly like he wanted. Body lock takedown, brings him down. But you got to give it to Chauncey Foxworth. He kept fighting throughout the fight. Nice combination there. Here's your flying knee attempt. You can see it hits. It just doesn't hit in the knee. Hits him with the thigh. That's why it doesn't put Johnny down. Eblen is a tough fighter, but I'll give all the credit in the world to Foxworth. That guy has heart, and he fought through everything. I'm very impressed by him.
Let's see if Johnny Eblen stays unbeaten. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to your 3 judges, David Sutherland, Michael Bell, Ron McCarthy. All 3 scored the same 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Johnny Eblen.
Eblen remains unbeaten and wins by unanimous decision here in his Bellator MMA debut. He is set to face off against the 39-year-old, born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, fighting out of Fremont, California, which is what Michael C. Williams will tell us again in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, now inside the Bellator cage at the 229 post limbs, we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 184.6 pounds. His professional record, 13 wins, 7 losses. By way of Sao Paulo, Brazil, he fights out of Fremont, California, Mauricio Alonso. And across the cage, his adversary, out of the red corner, at 6'1", weighing in 185.9 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 5-0. He fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Introducing Johnny Soldier Boy Eblen. In charge, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee. King Mo, amongst those in the corner of Johnny Eblen tonight.
That's a big advantage right there.
You got that right. Against 39-year-old Mauricio Alonso. His last appearance inside the Bellator cage was against Josh Koscheck at Bellator 172, and the finest referee in the history of mixed martial arts was there that night.
This was his fight against Josh Koscheck. I was the referee, so I remember it well.
I said that.
And he landed some big shots, finally putting it out on Josh. Josh had no idea where he was at. That was the biggest win of Mauricio Alonso's career. Another one here tonight. We do have a delay based upon we do not have a ringside physician in place. and Jason Herzog, our referee, will not start it until that happens.
That fight, John, in which you reffed in San Jose was 958 days ago. Alonzo back to face off against 5-0 Johnny Eblen.
First round, buddy, you ready?
Doc is in place.
Buddy, you ready? Fight.
Herzog starts the fight, and we are underway. Johnny Eblen in the red gloves. Mauricio Alonso, the native of Sao Paulo, Brazil, in the blue gloves. Came to the U.S. in 2011.
You can see Johnny Eblen, that nice footwork in and out, just giving him little looks. He is a superior wrestler. His wrestling is outstanding, very tenacious. But got to consider, do I want to go to the ground with Mauricio Alonso, who's got a very good submission game? Obviously, Johnny says, I don't care, I'm taking it there.
I see what you're doing. I'm listening. I'm with you. And Michael C. Williams just made post limbs an official word. If the boy says it, then it's real. Hashtag post limbs here on the Bellator app and DAZN from Pechanga Resort Casino.
The real thing you're looking for here when you're seeing Mauricio Alonso change that angle, create that angle in here, and you're seeing Johnny Eblen just move himself, center himself back up. That's saying that he knows what's happening. He feels those attempts starting to come. He knows exactly where he's at and what he wants.
Third fight inside the Bellator cage for the third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Alonso with a long lineage with the Gracie family, training out of the CSA Gym, Combat Sports Academy. Kieran Fitzgibbons, the head coach, of course, there.
Big body shots with that right hand by Johnny Eblen. Those you can only take for so long. That's why you saw Mauricio Alonso move from an open guard to a closed guard, try to slow that progression down. One thing you'd want to see out of Johnny Eblen here is he's got to start to control his posture. You know you've got the pressure on him to keep him against the fence, and if you posture, those shots that you're able to throw are going to have just that much more power on them.
He's 27 years old, born in Kansas City, a member of American Top Team, Mike Brown, Dean Thomas, Steve Mocco, King Mo, all amongst those who coach Johnny Eblen. Coached for many years by James Krause at Glory MMA in Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Obviously had some good people giving him some very good instruction. One of the things I want to bring up, Mo Lal, one of the highest fight IQs you will ever find. A guy that sees things, understands the game, and comes up with beautiful plans of how to attack an opponent that has a specific skill.
Johnny's got some good training partners too. Jorge Masvidal, Rafael Carvalho, amongst those who work out at American Top Team, and this is a good start for 5-0. Soldier Boy Johnny Eblen.
Johnny Eblen, he's just a buzzsaw right now on top of Alonso. Alonso's trying to break that posture, trying to slow down the progression of what Johnny Eblen's able to do, but these are some shots that are getting through. It can only take so much.
All four of his finishes, John, have come in the first round.
Well, he's trying to make the number 5.
Got that right.
Right now. He still has a little bit of time. Mauricio's got a lot of skill off of his back. He understands how to try to control that posture, take it to a point where there's not a lot of power on the shots that are landing. Eblen is working against that. A lot going on right now.
22nd pro fight for Alonso. He's only been stopped once. Good elbows. Alonso looking to control the posture of the Missouri Tiger.
I talked about Johnny Eblen having that mean streak, being aggressive, and he is, and you can see it in the way he's fighting. He does not care about what Mauricio Alonso brings in the submission game. He's basically saying, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to be on top, and I'm going to pound you soft from that position because I don't think that you have the skill to submit. Big hammer fist.
Echo defense. Knock him in the face.
Good start for Johnny Eblen.
Nothing's changed. I've seen it before.
Did you make him feel old yet?
You have to ask Mauricio that. That's just not a fair question.
No, it's not. Round 2. Red gloves for Johnny Eblen. Blue gloves for Mauricio Alonso.
Mauricio Alonso doing a nice job of moving away from that right hand and the power that it has. Move towards that, can cause you a problem. Move away from it, you're taking steam off of it. Smart.
Back in 2007, Alonso moved from Sao Paulo to Curitiba to train with Anderson Silva. He was there for 4 years. He said it was a very tough time in his life. He didn't have any money. He basically lived at the gym, but to have the ability to train with a spider was worth the sacrifice in which he made.
Alonso trying to utilize those leg kicks to give Johnny a problem.
There's takedown. Well timed on that kick, John.
And the real question here is, now that we're in the center of the cage, without the fence to cause any difference as far as I can choose the side I want to go to, I can swing into things. Let's see if Alonso is able to open up and try to attack Eblen with a submission here.
Missouri State Wrestling Champion, 87 career wins at Missouri. Johnny started wrestling at age 4. I'm guessing he took round 1.
I would think so, yes.
I still leave it up to you, though.
Well, I like that, but you know, in fact, we're going to go that you gave him a 10-9
Wow.
in that round, right?
Unofficially.
Nice job.
Unofficially.
I like what I see.
Thank you. You're learning me lots.
One of the things that we talk about is you've got to open up that guard if you're going to go for attack. Right now, Alonso opens it up, goes right back to the close, and when you're in that close guard, there is no submission attempts for you. You've got to open the guard to create the angles and the attacks needed. If you're in that closed guard, you're basically locking that person down on top. Now, you might not be getting hurt, but you're definitely not going to be winning the fight. Eblen posturing, nice shots. Nothing big landing, but at least he's showing the judges, I am going after this guy. I am trying to finish this fight. See Alonso trying to bring his arm across, trying to create an angle. Eblen just being comfortable in position, landing body shots, trying to posture now, bring more power. This is the old Mark Coleman ground and pound special.
The Godfather. Working within the guard. Mauricio Alonso, coached by Daniel Gracie for many years, started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1997 with Ian Gracie, trained 11 years with him in Sao Paulo. 1997, I remember that year.
I remember that year too. Someone started understanding that this was a sport and wanted to be part of it.
And someone's wife told me that it isn't Ryan Gracie.
look at how you've learned.
Right? R is H in Portuguese. Good ground and pound. Hammer fists. 10 seconds.
Engage a little bit.
The 27-year-old looks good.
Final round, buddy, ready. Buddy, ready. Fight.
Red gloves for the Missouri Tiger. Sao Paulo's Alonso in the blue gloves. Good shot to the body, nice change of levels.
I think Alonso realizes I'm behind in this. I need to try to do something. He's coming forward, trying to create a pressure on Johnny Eblen.
Darren Uenoyama, grappling coach at CSA. Soldier Boy possesses a heavy right hand. Let's see if he looks to unleash it here. There it is, right on cue. Didn't connect that time. Takedown.
Johnny Eblen just controlling the position. He's shown through the first 2 rounds that this is not, almost with a can opener trying to open the guard there, but this is not a position he is feeling threatened in any way, and believes that he can just start to open up and do damage. But I'll give it to Alonso. He's done a very nice job of minimizing the amount of damage he's taken with a guy that's been on top of him for close to 10 minutes already, and still not, you don't see any kind of real swelling, no marks. So he's doing a good job of defending.
Which is kind of validating the point that I made earlier, and you can see why Johnny's only been stopped once in 21 professional fights.
Yeah, very good defense. Able to he'll take a shot, but is able to protect himself from taking that second, third shot that's going to hurt him. And so, great use of his skill set, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's just not in the position where he's able to get that submission against Johnny Eblen.
And Johnny, of course, as you've said before, wants to become the next great Missouri wrestler to turn the corner and become a mixed martial arts champion.
Back the head, in for the ear.
Chandler T. Wood and Ben Askren. Not a bad trio. Some hammer fists.
This is what happens when you cannot control the posture of your opponent. Alonso going back to breaking that posture down, pulling Eblen down on top of him to stop the amount of power he's able to generate with those hammer fists. Everyone looks at a hammer fist and they think, oh, it's just a hammer fist. A hammer fist hurts. You can bring a hammer fist down on someone with the use of gravity as hard as you can punch someone with a straight shot.
Like the former heavyweight champion, The Hammer, from the Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State University. Mark Coleman. And the late Kevin Randleman, also great ground and pound, former heavyweight champion. Lost him way too young. And there's those hammer fists again. And when you utilize hammer fists, you get the nickname the Hammer or the nickname the Smashing Machine.
The Hammer was a great. That was a nice knee right inside by Alonso. He's trying to finish it off here.
It hurt him.
It did hurt him. Not that it's stunned him to the point where he doesn't know where he's at, but he definitely felt it.
Yep, he caught him.
Got to be careful.
30 seconds remain.
Got to make sure he keeps that arm to the outside.
Sharp elbow from the bottom. But it appears it will be much too little, much too late for the 39-year-old.
Nice posture. See that arm just inside the leg. No danger of it crossing anything. It's a high guard. Nothing there.
This one goes the distance.
Make this good. I want to make this good.
Nice shot. That shot leads him to get inside. Doesn't really have to change levels much, but drives that double leg takedown. And this is where I'm talking about hammer fists. When hammer fists start landing flush on the side of your jaw, they hurt. They're heavy. They've got all that gravity coming straight down that help them become heavy. You see those shots landing on Alonzo.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Luis Cobian, scores at 30-26, while judges Jackie Dinkin and Glenn Paulson both see it the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny Soulja Boy Eblen.
6-0 overall, 2-0 inside the Bellator cage for Soulja Boy. Johnny Eblen, the Korean Canelo, 6-0. Taylor Tombstone Johnson, 6-1.
The only thing you can look at here, I got 2 inches of difference, and everything else is basically
Virtually identical.
There you go, baby.
Michael C. Williams. Nice setup.
From Mohegan Sun Arena, we welcome those joining us at CBSSports.com as the Bellator 250 prelims roll on now. We move to the middleweight division set for 3 5-minute rounds, introducing the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 185.3 pounds. His professional record, 6 wins, just 1 loss, fighting out of Sisters, Oregon, Tombstone, Taylor Johnson. And across the cage, his adversary in the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 185 pounds even. His professional record undefeated. 6 victories, no losses. By way of Kansas City, Missouri, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Johnny, the Korean Canelo Eblen. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Hold up, guys, 1 second.
this is Taylor Johnson against Ed Ruth, 3-time NCAA Division I champion out of Penn State. And watch him go for this leg. Look at the entwinement with his. He starts to control it. He gets a heel hook and taps Ed Ruth out in the first round. We know he's a good wrestler. We know he's got a leg lock game. This should be a great fight with Johnny Eblen.
That was his Bellator debut 49 days ago. Tonight's Fight Clock presented by Geico. Red gloves for Johnny Eblen, blue gloves for Taylor Johnson.
A lot different approach for Taylor Johnson versus the Ed Ruth fight.
Just a little.
This was the Taylor Johnson I thought we were going to see against Ed Ruth, and it didn't happen.
Johnny Eblen has some wrestling skills, guys.
Well, both of these guys have wrestling skills. They both wrestled at major universities, even coming out of Missouri. We know a lot of guys that have come out of Missouri that have incredible MMA careers, so.
Just a couple. Just a couple world champions. Longest fight of Tombstone Taylor's professional career, 6 minutes and 34 seconds. That just happened to be his professional debut, in which he won.
Very nice pressure here. He's doing a lot of good work. He's trying to reach. He wants to reach for that arm that you see Taylor Johnson posting.
You can body, you can.
See, he's reaching with both hands. He's looking for it.
There you go, there you
That's
go.
going to bring Taylor Johnson down. Able to get back to his feet. Nice job of controlling the leg by Eblen.
There you go, your stuff. Sag on there, sag on there. Sag.
What Eblen needs to do here is pull him away from
Knees and kicks there, look, knees and kicks.
so he's able to kind of hook and sag on the body, try to get Taylor Johnson like basically sagged to the ground.
Or sometimes bounce him off of that cage. You can use that pressure that he's trying to create going against the cage and use it against him.
Nice. Yeah.
You see some good judo guys will tend to do that. They'll bounce him off the cage, so they can open up the feet for a little foot sweep or trip or some sort of hip toss.
The Korean Canelo, Johnny Eblen, all
Keep
4 of his
Grab forward a
professional
little bit.
finishes
Keep weighting his hands.
have
His
come
right
in the
hand.
very first round.
Good.
Red gloves for Eblen, blue gloves
the knee
for
to body there.
Johnson.
Those of you guys that don't know what
Yeah, hips
Canelo
down.
means cinnamon.
Yeah.
But I think he's also going off of some boxer guy.
Cinnamon
Look to the head. Look to the head.
Canelo would never be good.
Halfway.
That was a nickname update, by the way.
Hey, there you
Part of
go.
the American top team.
Now you got something.
Eblen met Steve Moko and all of a sudden made his move
Hey.
down to South Florida
Head position.
and is 6-0 as a professional.
There you go. Stay heavy on that elbow on your right side.
Eblen has done a great job of locking his hands, and Taylor Johnson's never been able to get those apart once he's decided to hold on. And that's what's allowed him to control Taylor Johnson this entire time up against the cage here.
Nice. There you go. Now punch. Yep.
Eblen also 3-0 as an amateur. So combined 9-0 in mixed martial arts. And Taylor Johnson had one amateur fight in which he won by a second round knockout. This is a very good matchup at 185.
Both guys are showing that
Keep working,
their
Johnny, keep
grappling
working.
experience is way above what most guys have. They're both back and forth. You can see Eblen bringing him down. Taylor Johnson right away, just getting himself back to a position where he can get back to his feet or use the fence.
Give a free hand.
Eblen doing a good job. He's
Good ride,
hooking
good ride,
that
Johnny,
leg,
good ride.
sagging on it. So every time Johnson has to get up, he's got to carry his body weight to get back to his feet.
Keep your elbow in and just face him. Left elbow in.
It's physically exhausting, John, to have to keep getting up and keep getting up. But as much as I say it's exhausting for the person to get up from the bottom, it's even more exhausting for the person to have to keep returning them to the mat.
Yeah, because you're actually lifting up a 200-pound man.
There you go. Hey. Hands up.
Following our main event, CBS Sports Network
Bang.
switches over to the gridiron for some Mountain West action. Colorado
there you
State
go. Hands up.
battles Fresno State. Catch it all on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
There you go. 1, 3, 2, 1, 3 high. Set it up.
Bingo. Use your face.
All you
Shift
do.
two.
Both guys are trying to get their weight a little bit after all that.
Big shot.
Yeah, legs back.
More off balance than anything.
There you go. There you go.
Knees.
Final seconds of a back in first round of action. Back in fourth.
Oh, thank you very much. I was. You're
Round two. Back in first discussion will continue when we come back on Weighing In
hands up.
with Big John McCarthy, Josh Thompson. Round two.
Don't force it, baby. Don't force it. Hey.
Oh, big right hand by Taylor Johnson. That hurt, Johnny.
Breathe.
Hands high.
He's still hurt.
Yep.
Breathe.
3 nice shots in a
Hands high.
row.
Hands
And
high.
another.
Inside. Beautiful job by Taylor. This is what I'm talking
sir.
about. All that work, and it just
Roll
takes
hard.
a good round here, and he has hurt Johnny Eblen early in this round.
And has come out
What to do there?
ultra aggressively.
Nice job of getting his head up high.
Nice, Johnny.
There you go. You know what to do there.
Not trying to stalling there. Not trying to stalling there.
Not where you want to settle, though, after you just landed a bunch of
Hey.
No, because you're letting him get his wits back.
Like Goldie was saying, Taylor Johnson hasn't been really good 6 minutes in his career. So that being said, they exchanged in the beginning where he landed the clean shots. How much energy did he use? Now is he starting to suck wind a little
There you
bit?
go. Right to it. There you go. Now you can touch him.
He's at 6 right now.
Drive and touch.
6:34.
It's okay if you're
Burn up.
Longest fight Josh had professional debut.
Hold that wrist up.
Just like in wrestling, though, John, you've got to keep your forehead off the mat. keep your forehead off this canvas, getting up, get your head high, chin tucked, and start trying to get back to your feet right now. Taylor Johnson needs to do that right away, otherwise he's just carrying the weight and getting more tired as the fight goes on.
This is a great turnaround for Johnny Eblen in being able to get on top, get his wits back, and now he's the one in control.
They're right in front of us, so I'm sure Taylor Johnson. I'm sure.
Much to your point, big, heavy breaths being taken by Tombstone and Taylor Johnson. Longest fight officially now of his professional career.
Head off the canvas.
Putting that forehead down on the canvas.
He's got to get some sort of wrist control, start working his way back to his feet. Even knee slide forward a little bit to create space between their hips so he can get back up. I can feel those knees from here, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't hurt. I hate those feelings. I walk past the cage now and I hear him being punched and hit. I'm like, oh, why did I do that for so long?
On your toes, yeah, on your toes. Give the left hand for your punch. Right there.
Johnny, right now, if you get that left leg and could have gotten that hook in, it would have helped him maintain his position on Taylor Johnson's back.
It's all work. You gotta face him. You have to face him.
Yeah, Taylor needs to get his hips closer to the fence, bring that right ankle closer to the fence as well, and start working his way up.
Getting that left arm.
And now back up though. As soon as your knees hit, you got to stay tight and then pop right back up. These are things that wrestlers will practice non-stop in the wrestling room. What's it called? MMA fighters will tend to get away from that type of stuff, but they should always be drilling it. As soon as you get taken down to the mat, just mat return right there. He should be popping back up. Nice little roll through though.
Okay, with the roll, he's got to be very careful of his legs right here. Nice job. He's figure four his leg to keep Taylor Johnson from being able to extend that out, but he needs to figure out, okay, where do I need to go from here?
There you go.
Taylor's looking towards a toe hold.
Adjust.
Decided against that.
That toe hold would potentially turn into a knee bar too from the position that he's in. There you are, back to the top. Now what Taylor Johnson do is sit on him, make him carry his weight. Not a whole lot that Eblen can do from this position.
Play your knee, play your knee.
Stay on top.
So you hear Taylor Johnson's corner say stay on top. What Taylor Johnson needs to do is throw that right leg over the head. If he's able to do that, he can turn the face up. If he wasn't able to do it, Eblen came back to
Good composure here in round two from Johnny Eblen. Johnson came out looking to finish it quickly, and Eblen has done a great job since that point. Weathered the storm and has controlled round two.
It doesn't really matter how great a conditioning you have. Every time you're carrying someone's weight, you tend to get a little more tired and a little bit faster. We're seeing that right now with Taylor Johnson. He has some real hard, clean shots in this round. And he's getting returned to the mat, and every time he gets lifted and returned, his body gets longer. Instead of staying in a ball, he's popping right back up.
30 seconds.
And with every time that he is picked up and dropped on that mat, that energy bar just starts to wilt.
Like a video game.
Yeah. Weight Club will do that shit. I hear him.
Both guys talking.
Wait, breathe.
You hear Taylor Johnson basically responding to us.
10 seconds.
They can hear you guys.
Stop. Clean right here. They had on that first initial shot.
All right, gentlemen, third and final.
And guys, you never know how a weight cut goes for a fighter, because oftentimes that can have an effect on
They'll tell you.
their cardio. Third and final round. Eblen in the red gloves, blue gloves for Taylor Johnson.
Both guys with trips on that, man. That was really nice by both.
It's not where Taylor Johnson wanted to be, though.
This is a bad place for him to be right now. On his back, up against the cage.
Wrist control and touch him. Let's get busy.
And a little bit tired. You see him turning, get himself back to his feet.
Yeah, right to the figure four. There
He
you
has
go.
never stopped working to get himself up, so
have your hips
very
a little-
impressive
gotta have your
with
hips down.
all of the pressure that Johnny Eblen's been able to put on.
Yeah, but I feel like Taylor Johnson has the better stand-up and the more powerful stand-up. He should have kept himself at distance. Instead, he jumped in with a flying knee, put himself in range to clinch, and this is what ended up resorting to where
Touch
they're
those
at
legs. Need those legs.
John, we talk
There you
about all
go,
the
there you
time
go.
fight
Good,
IQ.
good, good.
Your
Keep
corner should have been
keep
telling
touching
you
those
between, like, hey,
quads.
we
Touch
landed
those
the cleaner
quads.
shots in the second round.
Yep,
Let's
turn.
keep that distance.
Oh, watch that cage.
Okay? You have the straighter punches. You're
right
doing
away.
more damage on the feet.
Concrete,
Let's try and
Tuck
keep
the
this on
arm.
the feet. And if things go south,
Use that
okay, we
concrete.
can always try to wrestle as well.
And you can say that. You can believe that you have the
Stumble,
bigger
stumble,
power. You've
stumble.
already hurt him. He knows
Needs to
that
die, needs to
you can
die.
hurt him. That's going to make him
ride,
a
good
little
ride, yeah.
bit
Holding you.
less
Doing nothing but
anxious to
holding you.
come forward on you.
Well, Eblen has
Yeah, knee, there you
embraced
go.
the grind.
That's
is what
solid,
he
that's
has
good
done.
strike. Oh, nice,
Just
good
trying to
power,
break
good
down
power.
his opponent
Good power.
systematically.
Hold you, Tanner.
And he said in
Get
his
out of there.
unanimous decision when
Keep touching those
back
legs.
at Bellator 229,
Oh, good shot, good
when he
shot.
assessed it, he said his pace and his grit showed in
Wrist,
that
the
fight.
wrist, wrist control. Right
And
to the
that's what
right.
we're
Wrist,
seeing
wrist
again
ride.
here
Wrist ride.
with 3 minutes on the
Yes,
clock
yes,
in round
good,
3.
good.
There you go. He's
Hit it
got
back,
that
hit it
nice
back.
left
You gotta
hook.
get it
That's
back.
going to keep him
Yeah, use your
on
free hand.
Taylor Johnson's back.
Use your left hand.
Eblen's
Use
gone
your
back to
front.
his roots.
Yep.
He
Use the
is,
right hand,
you know,
use the right hand
you
and follow the
watch
wrist,
the
follow the
progression
wrist,
of
follow the
his
wrist.
MMA career. He's really gotten into being a stand-up guy, liking the stand-up, liking to be a guy that
Good ride, good
is
ride. Be ready to-
controlling,
yeah, look
you know,
for the
where
wrist.
that fight happens in the
Good,
cage.
good.
He's gone right back against Taylor Johnson to
Very
his
good,
roots,
Johnny.
and his wrestling is shining. here
Nice,
tonight.
Johnny.
And we saw why early in the
Tie it
second
up,
round. That's
tie it up,
exactly
yep,
why
tie
he
it
went
up.
back to his roots,
Yes,
because he
cut the
knew
wrist.
that Taylor Johnson's dangerous
Bar
on the
that wrist
feet
up.
and everywhere. You don't know what's going to come. And when you're fighting
Understand
someone
the
where
lead,
you don't know
come on.
where the
Yeah,
punches
halfway.
and kicks are coming from, because they come from
Good
all
ride,
different
good
angles,
ride.
it's sometimes
Get
better
that
just to
move,
play
get
it
that
safe.
move.
Let me just take you down, hold you here.
Good,
take you a
good,
little time.
good.
Nice roll through by Taylor Johnson, going for the leg, but he gets stuck in that
Good,
position.
Look for your elbows, look for your
Taylor
elbows. Here you go.
Johnson
Now you got a shot.
started his grappling
Yes,
training.
Come on.
Team Lister.
Limp arm. Limp arm.
Bunch of
Hands
leg
up the mat.
lockers,
Hands up
as
the
he
mat.
told
Hands
us
up the mat.
before, Big John.
Hands up the mat.
You're getting
Watch your legs if you're in there with Tombstone.
Let's
hit
limp
into a
arm.
leg
Hands up the
lock
mat.
in
Hands
competition.
on the chest.
Having Dean Lister on your side is probably
Get that left hand
going to
free.
help you.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Ace in the
There you go.
hole there.
Right in there. There you go.
Kick back, go to half. Kick back, go to half.
Under 2
Kick back.
minutes.
Can you get what you want? I know what you
Kick
want.
pass.
Go.
Kick back, go to half.
Hit it, hit it.
You can
pass,
go all
it's
the
a
way
pass.
back to
Kick
look,
back.
you know, John Danaher and all the
It's a pass.
guys that he's training now. Neiman
Kick
Gracie,
back, go to half. Kick back.
just a beautiful example. Neiman Gracie
Yep, with the bump.
tapping
Keep
out
with the
John
bump. With the
Fitch
pass, Johnny.
in his retirement fight with a leg lock. All of that started based upon Dean Lister when John Danaher is working out with him, and basically Dean Lister said, why would you forget 50% of the body?
120, 120.
Excellent point. And those are nasty.
Kick back. Kick that left leg back. You can go to half. Kick back.
American top team, South Florida against American top team,
the elbows,
the
too.
affiliate in Portland.
Just keep working. Just
Eblen
keep taking
and
away.
Johnson.
Yeah, get your
1
head free. Use
minute
your hands.
on the clock, third and final
Go to half.
round.
Kick back, go to half.
I just want to see a little more sense of urgency out of Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, he's got to do something in this position. It's either, you know, get going on, getting yourself back to your feet, or the submission, but you can't stay on your back.
45. Watch your knee bars and everything. He's going to get desperate now. He's going to get desperate.
See, during all these exchanges, on every time he gets back, there's no hand fighting, there's no wrist control. He's not trying to break the
Never
grip.
gotten his hands inside.
Yeah.
He's never been able to get that left arm over. Nice roll through.
Again.
Nice reshot though.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Eblen.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, but again, that leg is in
Finish
trouble.
it.
He needs to be careful.
20 seconds.
20 seconds is a lot of time.
There you go.
There it is.
Trying to
Break it.
stretch it out.
15. Beautiful.
Unable to stretch it out right at this time,
Yeah,
but
foot
if he
fight,
does,
foot fight,
heel
foot
hook
fight. Hold
there,
on to
John.
that.
That's what he's got.
he still doesn't have it.
Finish it. Break it.
Extend his leg, go.
Oh, it's
Hips,
tight.
hips.
Hips, 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 hips.
Now it's getting extended.
Hips.
Final seconds. He survives.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges. At cage side, your first, Jared Vallel, scores it 29-28, while judges Doug Crosby, David Torelli, both see it the same 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny the Korean Canelo Eblen.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
For those that may have just joined us live in the UK, we thank you for tuning in on BBC iPlayer as Inside the Bellator Cage will go now to the middleweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner at 6'3", weighing in 185 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 18 wins, 6 losses, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, Daniel Demigod Madrid.
Yeah.
And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185 pounds even, he's undefeated as a professional. 7 victories, no defeats. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Kansas City, Missouri, Johnny Diamond
Hands up, head moving, feet moving. Bend your legs.
And the referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Todd Anderson will oversee this middleweight matchup between Johnny Eblen and Daniel Madrid. Gegard Mousasi atop the middleweight mountain here.
Ready?
In
Fight!
Bellator MMA bell, and the first round underway. Eblen in the red gloves, Madrid in the blue. And immediately, Eblen with the calf kick on the lead leg of Madrid. That was checked by Eblen. Aggressive start by Eblen, John, and landed with that combination.
That was a nice left that he landed with. You see that Madrid's going to want to try to keep the range in perspective for him, meaning he doesn't want to overextend, which is going to allow Johnny to come inside and work for that takedown.
When I tell you that 15 of Madrid's 18 wins have come via submission, that will probably let you know where he would like to see this fight go. For Eblen, 3 of his 7 victories have come thanks to his striking prowess. In fact, Madrid has just 1 knockout win on his resume, and that came back in October of 2015.
Nice side
kick, yeah, side kick by Eblen.
Madrid utilizing a lot of feints inside. Johnny just nice and steady, relaxed, and trying to just figure things out, see his opening.
Body kick by Eblen. And that kick forcing Madrid to go orthodox. As Eblen comes in with a combination.
That was a nice strong kick by Madrid. Eblen ate it, but that is not one you want to take a lot of abuse with. Let's be careful not to let that kick continue to land in that same spot. Really a little bit of a different game plan that you're seeing out of Johnny Eblen when you're looking. He hasn't even taken the shot. He's been relaxed in the stand-up. Even when he's gone and closed the distance, everything has been about just landing his shots, not about getting to that quick position to take them.
Eblen telling us that he knows that Madrid's biggest strength is his BJJ. He feels his biggest weakness is his power. Takedown defense, and he could not take the power of Eblen there as Madrid goes down, and Madrid's in trouble. Madrid is finished. Johnny Eblen improving to 8-0 in Bellator with his 4th knockout.
Take a look at this nice switch step. Throws the right, but that's the left hand that touches that chin.
Knockout.
That's what puts Daniel Madrid down. A nice clean shot by Eblen. Comes after him, heavy ground and pound. Just tries to swing heavy shots, hammer fist down, and one touches that chin. And you see Daniel Madrid go out from that hammer fist shot. Again, watch the switch step. The right hand comes and gets blocked, but the left hand comes through and touches that side of the jaw. That's what puts Daniel Madrid in the position where he is trying to defend. The hammer fist seal the deal.
And Eblen picks up his first finish under the Bellator MMA banner. He's 4-0 in Bellator. That his first knockout win under the
USA,
bright lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. Round number 1 by knockout. The winner, Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
Johnny Eblen, hello. How you doing, brother? That was just
remarkable as far as you never even looked for a takedown attempt in this fight the entire time. Everything was about you being on your feet and landing your hands. Talk to me about your training and what you were thinking about tonight.
Man, I just really wanted to show the world that I can strike. I know my last 2 fights, I've utilized a lot of my wrestling, but now I've been training a lot with George Masvidal, a lot with Yaroslav Amosov, and man, just training with the best in the world all the time. Just been honing my skills and getting better every fucking day.
Talk to me about that little switch step when you threw the right. The right got blocked, but it was the left hook that came through and it landed square on right on the tip of the chin.
Secret sauce. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a secret sauce, baby.
Secret sauce.
Yeah.
When he went down, did you know, oh, I've got him at this point? The hammer fist came and he definitely went unconscious.
I hit him and I saw his eyes kind of roll back, but he started regaining consciousness. I'm like, dude, I got to get on this guy. I got to hit him with a couple good shots. And after a few hammer fists, I started to let lights go out, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep going until this ref pulls off me. I'll kill this guy. I don't care.
Well, that was a beautiful performance. That was your first knockout here in the Bellator cage. Congratulations on a fantastic win. Who do you want next?
Whoever Bellator wants to give me, man. I'm a working man. I like to work. So whoever Bellator wants to give me, I'll show up, and I'll hopefully do the same thing.
Sounds good to me. That, again, congratulations on a beautiful knockout win. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
Night that ends with the flyweight world title on the line begins as always with Michael C. Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA from Mohegan Sun Arena, live on Showtime. We kick it off here at Bellator 262 with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 186 pounds, making his Bellator debut, he brings 10 professional victories, 4 losses. By way of Upper Sandusky, he fights out of Columbus, Ohio, Travis Bam Bam Davis. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 186 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated, 8 wins, no defeats. By way of Kansas City, Missouri, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen. And the referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Something to ponder. All of these young, huge prospect, undefeated fighters that finally stumbled. Always seem to do it, John, against a veteran who you weren't expecting.
Ready to fight?
With great jiu-jitsu.
Ready to fight? Let's go.
We're going to see right now, Johnny Eblen is coming out. He feels confident in this fight. And Travis has got very good stand-up, and he's got a good ground game.
You heard Coconut Creek, which means American top team, and the run they are on in Bellator is absurd. They continue to the prelims tonight. Syed Soma and Cody Long. Travis Davis says Johnny Eblen is a front runner, quick starter. He said he goes berserker to get you on the ground, which is not a bad description for what Johnny Eblen does.
Oh, that's a pretty accurate description. The one thing that Johnny's got in his back pocket, he is a good wrestler. He can always go to that wrestling technique when he wants.
University of Missouri's put some pretty good ones in the MMA. You talked about Travis Davis, the fights that he's lost, even the fights he's won. He is a risk taker. So again, high risk, high reward.
He is a risk taker. When we talk about risk, he will go after a submission when he doesn't have that exact position that we would want you to be in to go for that type of submission. But he'll go for it. That's one of the things I really enjoy watching with him. He tries to finish fights, be it in the stand-up or on the ground. Oh, he just took a big shot. You can see it there. You can see a little step under his foot. Buzzed by it.
Eyes are wide open now.
See him trying to parry that left hand of Johnny. Parry it down so he can bring the right hand over the top.
this American top team thing, it's building on each other. The success is building. And the guys that you are training with and the coaches, and confidence just grows. Each guy helps the other guy.
And success is contagious when you're around guys. You know, look at the guys that Johnny Eblen is training with. Every one of them undefeated right now in their career. You know, he is every day going in the gym and getting better and better. So one thing that I love, what I see out of him, is he wants to learn new things all the time. That's what makes him a very dangerous fighter.
First attempt at the level change. No one that wrestles with Steve Marco ever comes out of it without lacking confidence in their wrestling against anybody else. This is what we're talking about.
Again, just before that takedown, Johnny landed a very solid left-right combination.
King Ball, a very familiar face, mask or not, to Bellator fans.
There you go.
One of the best that's ever done it, both inside the cage and then as a coach, unbelievable.
Takedown into the ride, land a couple of shots. So this is where Johnny, he stays patient.
One of the things that Johnny doesn't worry about is he'll tell you, I like when guys try to stand up. In fact, I let him stand up so they feel like they're getting somewhere, and then I just take them back down again just to take all that will away from them.
We had a really interesting conversation with Johnny Eblen the other day, and to call him a student of the game is an understatement. But he has literally chosen the top people in every part. He's mentioned names to us like Canelo, like Raymond Daniels, like in every possible field there is. Like he wants to be as good as Raymond Daniels with this. There's got to be a danger in spreading yourself a little too thin. Ambition's good.
Oh, ambition is great when you look and you say, I want to have the spinning techniques of Raymond Daniels. Well, that's a good person to say, I want to emulate what they do.
It's a big shot.
Well, we're going to be in the same because there's too many elements to the game.
Followed by a takedown.
This one, just look at the tenacious pace that Johnny is bringing right now. This is hard to deal with if you're Travis Davis.
He's only been finished once in 14 professional fights. You can see why, because he's taking some big shots here. Johnny Eblen getting going in, coming out.
There you go. Don't lose that wizard.
A lot of good work by both fighters, but Johnny's been controlling exactly where this fight's going to be fought.
Travis Davis has done some boxing. Undefeated in fact. He's confident everywhere. He's in there with a different level of animal right now. Very impressive first round for the undefeated Johnny Eblen.
Incredible fight IQ. Nice low kick by Travis Davis.
That left a little memory thought into the head of Johnny Eblen for the first time. This really has all the makings. Josh said during the prelims, he's exactly right. We were all on the same page. If any fight here is going to steal the show, this was going to be it.
Well, that's because we've all watched Travis fight, and we know how tough he is, and we know he does not give in ever. And he creates situations that create a fun fight, something where action takes place.
I think he said that. You should listen to Josh talking about it. He said that, right? Something like that. He's not described the gentleman.
Nice drop down. Great change to the drop by John. He's got his hands hooked on his legs. He should be able to get him up. See Travis trying to dig that underhook. That's
impossible to defend at this level.
Keep his head down. Shoot your hips out, Travis. There you go, let go.
Travis Davis, 34 years old, a late start because of his military service.
There you go.
That's Johnny getting his head high right now. You get your head high on that position, now you can drive him down towards the canvas. Travis trying to use that fence as a balance point. Keeping that arm posted up. Look at where his right arm's at. That's what's going to get Johnny problems to take that away.
Don't grab it. Don't grab it.
Johnny Eblen not even even a thought of surrendering the position. You gotta get to it. You're exactly right. It's what we already talked about with us. Let him up, take him back down.
And what you're seeing Travis trying to fight the hands, which is the right thing to do. You can't break the grip of Johnny, and if you can't break that grip, you're just going to go for a ride right back down.
Johnny Eblen, like most great fighting careers, started as a younger brother with older brothers who beat the heck out of him.
Why is it that story is always the same?
It's right up there with the best camp of my life, and my weight's on point.
This is what Johnny was talking about, just taking it, basically breaking someone's mentality in the fight. Letting him get up and then taking him right back down. Proving to him you cannot stop what I do.
That's a hip. Give me back pressure, Travis.
Reach over the
back pressure. Hips forward. Hips forward.
There's some heavy shots Travis is taking.
Get out of there, Travis.
He keeps on looking to grab
As soon as you bring him in, separate.
Future at 185 Bellator is looking better and better every day. There are some blue chippers.
You saw right there, Johnny trying to pull him out of the cage, and he was actually getting out of the cage. He kept trying to come back.
Overhand right, left got in. These are big shots.
He set up a big right elbow. This is what we're talking about. The sound Travis went back into. It wasn't in the position you want to go to get in that position, putting your back onto the canvas.
That was a Hail Mary. This has been a game performance by Travis Davis. He has been mauled here through 2 rounds. We always talk about the good news is you're on the big show, under the bright lights, on the main card. Bad news is that usually means you're facing somebody elite on the other side.
You can see right now numbers. Davis has landed 13 of 34 compared to 61 of 92 with Johnny. So Travis Davis got a cut on his forehead.
That is not Johnny's own that he's wearing.
Lock him. Get him rocking, Travis. Hey, attack his base. Attack his base, Travis. Rock him back and forth. Commit. Him out. Him
You
out.
can see Travis Davis is in shape because he has put out a lot of energy and just can't stop what Johnny Eblen is
20
doing.
seconds, Johnny. 20 seconds.
Travis Davis is thrilled to be here at Boeing this week in Bellator because he had to do that PFL
Elbows, Travis. Get some elbows.
tracking that clip for weeks and weeks.
That's a couple of week bubble. That's not fair.
Feet on hips and elbows to the top of the head.
Neither is this for 10 minutes.
Stop. Clean break, guys.
Watch how effective Johnny picks him up, drops him down. Travis really had a problem breaking the grip of Johnny Eblen, which sometimes is not an easy thing to keep when you're wearing gloves. It's not the same as just having your hands. Johnny's got that beautiful gable grip. He just kept picking him up, bringing him down. That elbow set up a beautiful left hand right here that lands clean. And then a right hand just swings and misses, but the left hand comes back and touches him again.
The 10-8 became a new toy. We talk about fighters with new toys. The 10-8 became a new toy, right, for judges.
You're fucking wrestling.
Got a little bit too far.
You know you're fucking wrestling. Yeah, exactly.
Travis Davis is talking.
He's trying to land that counter
Start wrestling again?
He's talking the whole time. Instead of talking, he needs to start throwing those hands just a little bit more.
Difference obviously in heavyweight and middleweight, but the strong wrestling followed with the MMA version of wrestling in the ground and pound.
Well, right now, I'm sure that Travis's corner told him we need to finish. So he's looking to land that big shot. He should be looking just to land clean shots. Don't worry about throwing big heavy shots. Land clean shots that lead you to that big shot. A lot of ones for each fighter.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And we've seen dominating a fight can sap your own energy.
Finish low, Travis. Finish low.
what you do right now as you're watching the fight. Look at the back. Johnny Eblen is absolutely under control. No heavy breathing. He's in shape.
That is his, there is a coldness that comes in his personality. Efficiency.
Just right there with that takedown. Watch the way that he just pulls the ankle out. Little effort, doesn't burn a lot of energy in getting the takedown. Travis looking for the Kimura grip.
Told us he's trying to become more mechanistic in his lifestyle, more scientific.
That's it, Travis.
Again, Johnny going back to that gable grip that Travis has had so much trouble trying to break.
Travis Davis held on to the cage in the first round. This one.
Zero Tigers are climbing out right there. Again, you saw Johnny send out his hips coming in. Whenever you're going to see that suplex, watch for the fighter's hips to come hip to hip against his opponent. Same thing, dragging the ankle out. Beautiful transition by Johnny. Why burn all that energy trying to pick him up? This just shows where Johnny is now becoming a smart fighter, which is only going to make him more dangerous in the cage.
Full marks here for Travis Davis. This has been a pretty good battering for 13 minutes.
Oh yeah,
he's still hunting for it.
He's still going. That's what I love about him as a fighter. I mean, he's got no give, never settles. He's always looking to finish the fight. Just right now, he's in against a guy technically that can just control the position, get big shots, and make it work at a pace that's hard for him to sustain.
Very verbal during the fight. He had a fight in his younger days where he was basically talking to the other coaches.
Minute 30, Johnny. Minute 30. Trav, you're doing good.
Johnny Eblen's talking has been a little different here for 14 minutes.
Johnny's been talking with the tape.
Minute and a half. Minute and a half, Trav. Minute and a half.
It's just, right, this ride that you're seeing, Johnny, all this pressure, this is exhausting to have someone on you with your weight like that is. He doesn't have a good position for that choke to work. It's on the chin, but it can be a crank, and it can definitely dislocate your jaw if he gets enough pressure on it. I don't believe he has his other hand fixed in a position where he can create that type of pressure. But don't think that because that's not under the chin that it cannot cause Travis Davis a problem.
He's slapped down for a second.
Getting a little high. Right away, gets his hip back. You see when he gets hips to hip. Just shows his wrestling prowess.
This was a relentless performance by Johnny Eblen. You know he wants one more.
He's giving everything he had.
You can see his brain moving towards it. And he didn't need it. This was dominant by Johnny Eblen.
We talk suplex. I don't know if they're going to show the whole body here, but you'll see when he gets his hips right up next to his opponent's hips, that's when you see him start to go for a ride. See how his hips are underneath him now? Now he brings it back over the top. Beautiful job. Notice his head doesn't hit. Only Travis Davis. Travis did a good job of going with it, which helped him not get hurt by that suplex, but that was a beautiful toss.
New mayor of Suplex City with some dominant numbers in this dominant performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges. At cage side, your first, Brian Miner, scores the fight 30-27, while judges Doug Crosby and Chris Lee both see it the same 30-26. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny Diamond Head Eblen.
9-0 and getting better, it seems, every time out. Johnny Eblen keeps the roll going in Bellator for American Top Team, but he's with Big John McCarthy.
Johnny Eblen, that was a fantastic, dominant performance. You came out here looking to strike in the beginning, and then you went to your wrestling. Talk to me about what went through your mind as far as, I'm going to bring this to the ground.
No, my coaches, when I came back to the corner, told me not to brawl. So I took their advice, and I fought and wrestled smart.
Well, let's talk about your coaches there, because ATT has had a very good night tonight. You got guys like Mo Law and Mike Brown in your corner. What kind of confidence does that give you as a fighter?
Great confidence. They give me great advice, and I just listen to them. That's my job as a fighter, listen to my coaches.
There's multiple times in this fight you landed beautiful left hands. You hurt him a couple of times. You went to the suplex. You got a beautiful suplex. You tried to go back to it right at the end again to get it. Wasn't there. What was your feeling during this fight? Because he was talking to you the whole time.
Yeah, he was talking shit, saying, hey, let's brawl in the corner. I'm like, bro, that's stupid. That's why you're not where I'm at. You don't fight smart. You're trying to come out here and brawl. You can do that all you want, but you're not going to be a world champion like me.
Well, it sounds right as far as what I was looking at. You were fighting smart, technical. Who now? You are 9-0 in this cage. You don't have to worry about going back to ATT, because all those guys that you train with that are undefeated, you still can train with them because you're still undefeated. But who do you want to fight next?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind going to someone else's territory and taking on them. I heard that we might be going overseas, so a top 10 guy, Charlie Ward. I'd love to share not the octagon, the Bellator cage with you.
Charlie Ward from SBG sounds like a good fight to me. That was a beautiful performance. Congratulations on a big win.
Send that contract. It's signed on my end already.
Sounds good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Johnny Eblen.
With the official introductions, here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on Showtime tonight here at Mohegan Sun Arena. Bellator 272 gets underway now with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'3", weighing in at 185 pounds even, making his Bellator debut. He brings 10 professional victories, 3 defeats by way of Nevis, Minnesota. He fights out of Phoenix, Arizona, Colin Youngheart Hookbody. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in the same 185 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 9-0, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Kansas City, Missouri. Introducing Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Round 1. Eblen immediately attacking the leg of Hookbody, who switches to southpaw. Body kick by Eblen. Solid right hand that landed for Eblen. Kick right underneath the armpit, and it's all Johnny Eblen early. Hookbody launches a low kick and another one of his own. Counter by Eblen as a instant left hand. And Johnny Eblen going on the attack and taking Hookbody to the canvas. victory. He is 6-0 in Bellator MMA, #5, and a man to keep your eyes on.
Definitely a man to keep your eyes on. You have to be very impressed with what you saw out of Johnny Eblen. He came to fight. He was doing everything offensive. Take a look at what happens here. Nice leg kick, and then he goes after the shots. Big left hand touches. That affects Huck body. Eblen then goes after him, takes him down, and right away, heavy ground and pound, landing a big left hand. That jackhammer just kept on finding its spot. Huck body turns his back. You cannot do that in a professional fight. That's what's going to bring the referee in. Good stoppage. Nice win by Johnny Eblen.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Brian Miner steps in, weighs off the contest due to strikes. Official time, 1 minute, 11 seconds into round number 1 by TKO. He's still undefeated, Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
And 1-1-1 of round 1. Johnny Eblen gets it done again. 10-0 with 6 KOs. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Johnny Eblen. Johnny, you came out in that fight, you established quickly, you were going after him offensively, you caught the kick, you hit him with a beautiful left hand. What were you wanting to do here to everyone to show exactly where you belong in the middleweight division?
To be completely honest, John, I wanted to send that dude to the metaverse. Sadly, I could not do that tonight. I wish I could have put on a better show, but it is what it is.
I tell you what, you put on a fantastic show because you went after him. You made him turn up. You made a professional fighter turn into someone that had to turn away from you. That was a great performance. You have now put yourself at 10-0. That's impressive. You fight. You train out of Coconut Creek with all these guys. You've gone all through all of these nicknames too, and we're going to start calling you the human cheat code. But who is it that you should be facing here in the cage in your next fight?
Honestly, John Salter, I signed a bout agreement to fight you in Florida, and you pussied out. I don't know if you got hurt or if you pussied out, but I want to see you in this goddamn cage, dog. Let's go. Let's gear up, and let's get after it.
That's what I call a call out. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
We talked about Johnny Eblen. He is at 30 years of age, just coming into his prime. John Salter is in his prime at 36. Does that age disparity make a difference here with experience?
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features middleweight set for 3 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce first the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185.8 pounds. His professional record undefeated with 10 wins, no losses, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. By way of Kansas City, Missouri, introducing the human cheat code, Johnny Eblen. Across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185.8 pounds. Just off the world title challenge, he enters with 18 professional victories, 5 defeats, fighting out of Wilmington, North Carolina, John Salter. In charge, your referee, Mike England.
Start right over here, bud. Over here. Start right over there.
John Salter wrestled out of Lindenwood University right here in St. Charles, Missouri, 2007 NAIA National Wrestling Champion at 174 pounds. For Eblen, he's looking to show up and show out in his native show me state. Bell, round number 1. Touch of gloves in the southpaw Salter. Orthodox Eblen. Feeling out process here in the opening seconds, both pawing at each other. And it's Eblen who initiates the first offensive attack, but more of a just getting to know you, a little bit of a feeling out process, John.
That was a nice right hand landed by Johnny Eblen. the one thing about Johnny Eblen, look, his confidence is growing. He is now starting to believe. A lot of people don't realize that a fighter, even when they're 5-0, they still have doubts and they're not sure. Johnny Eblen is now believing in his ability. He knows how good he is. He trains with studs every day at AT&T, and he believes that now is his time.
AT&T, well-deserved reputation of taking prospects and turning them into savages. Eblen, all 6 of his wins via knockout or submission have come in the opening round. For Salter, he has 13 first-round finishes, just past the minute mark.
John Salter giving a couple different reads. That was a beautiful left hand landed by John Salter on the entry by Johnny.
Eblen looking for the takedown, scoops out the legs and secures it. Salter very comfortable off his back. Despite starting jiu-jitsu training at the age of 21, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and great fight IQ when it comes to the ground game for John Salter.
Let's just be honest about this. There's a lot of black belts out there. They are not the level of John Salter. Salter is a world-class grappler. The guy is a phenomenal jiu-jitsu practitioner with the wrestling that he already had to bring in.
Yeah, and speaking of wrestling, Eblen started at the age of 5, wrestled D1 for the University of Missouri. Alum include Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, Michael Chen.
Yeah, and you see right there, you see right away Salter bring it up for a triangle attack.
Look at his coaches.
Johnny having to work his way through that. Look at this guy, he's going for the arm now.
Salter is in trouble. A submission, the 11th of his career, looking to knock Johnny Eblen from the ranks of the undefeated Eblen. Submit, and Eblen slips out. Well done, and now in the close guard of Salter.
Look, man, you get into those Spider-Man-like attacks, all of a sudden that web is closing in around you. That's what John Salter will do. Johnny needs to be very careful about when he allows himself to get some separation, and that he needs to be bringing shots down on Salter to stop his ability to lock up those submissions.
Final 2 minutes of the opening round, and Johnny Eblen trying to deliver some short right hand. Salter trying to control his posture.
This is what John Salter cannot do. He cannot sit here and allow Johnny Eblen to be in his guard and just let him grind on him. This is not going to be beneficial for what John Salter is capable of doing off of his back. He needs to start creating angles. He needs to start making Johnny Eblen not want to be in this position.
Interestingly, Eblen popped up and then put himself back.
One of those, you think, I want to gain space because I want to punch, and then I want to control. Right, that's part of when you see a guy being down in this position like Johnny. Part of it is to control the posture, control the movement of John Salter, who's underneath him. He does not want John Salter to what we call off-angle him and start creating an angle that can put him in a submission-type situation.
Eblen. There's a short forearm across the jaw of Salter, who's done a good job of neutralizing the attack of Johnny Eblen, who's in top position, but there is a over the left eye of Salter.
Salter's got a small cut over that left eye. I don't think it's really creating any kind of problem for him right now, but all these little shots that Johnny's starting to put on him, John doesn't wear damage well. You know, he's a guy, some guys, you can hit him with a brick and it never shows. Some guys, you breathe on them and they show.
Both fighters,
big elbow, breathing, based upon all of these shots. Here's where I think where John Salter gets that little grazing shot. A lot of times those slicing punches, I think that's what opened up the eyebrow of John Salter. But it was all of this work here when Johnny Eblen decided to go to the ground. He takes John down, but he put himself in a bad position at one point with a good submission attempt. The arm at one point was extended. I'm not saying the triangle was really that deep. He didn't have it. You can see by the positioning of his legs, but he was able to straighten the arm at a certain point, but not enough to really be a dangerous submission. And when Johnny escaped and it got to that guard position, John Salter just was in a position where he took too many shots in the round to win.
Johnny Eblen would prefer not to get into a pitched battle. He says that he loves to control and dominate his opponent, while Salter, of course, looking to try to turn things around here in the second round. My cracked crystal ball says that Big John McCarthy's unofficial scorecard reads 10-9 for Eblen.
It's a good crystal ball you have.
Due to the takedown and the control on the ground?
Yeah, you take a look in the stand-up, he actually landed the better shots, and then on the ground, although Salter had the attack, it never was that close to being a good submission, and he took a lot of shots, even some of them were small.
So it's going according to plan for Eblen, who says he prefers two-strength and wrestler. He likes the grappling game, but wants to really mix it all up. And here in the opening minute, Ian Salter trying to find an angle, trying to find an opening.
That's exactly what Salter's doing. He's trying to look for that moment. He sees it when Johnny throws. He tends to take his head, and he dips it off to the right or left, and he's trying to time that motion.
Eblen was trying to take Salter's head off with that left hook that whiffed by. Oh, Eblen goes for the inside kick, checked by Salter. Both of them trying to navigate distance. And that was perfectly in range for Eblen. Lands that body kick, right hand, backs Salter up.
Yeah, right now, as you're seeing, John Salter starting to go back a little bit more often.
And he's not getting his head off the center line.
Absolutely, exactly the point. Notice his motions actually stopped a little bit, breathing a little bit harder. It's not that he's tired. It's just he's not too sure where the attack from Johnny's going to come.
And that's exactly what Eblen wants to keep it unpredictable. Doing a great job of really mixing his attack, going low, high, and showcasing all of those skills.
And look, Salter is looking for the takedown. He's looking for that opportunity. He's just not seeing it. Take a look at the base positioning of Johnny Eblen and the way he's kind of squatting down. You saw that nice little twitch of the leg. That's going to stop Salter at times. And now he goes for the takedown.
As it did against Gegard Mousasi. Hello, twitch of the leg. Something that Salter says really got into his head. And now Eblen securing another takedown and has Salter against the fence. Eblen, yep, 30 years of age, but just his 11th professional fight.
Look, 30 years of age is still young as a fighter. And Johnny Eblen's got a lot of upside to him coming up. And like I said, he's getting better right here.
And he's well preserved for a 30-year.
And the fact that he's actually willing to take the fight to the ground against someone like Salter, who everyone knows is dangerous there, says a lot about Johnny's confidence.
Well, and it says a lot about him that at 10-0, he's already ranked number 3 and bringing it to the number 1 ranked John Salter in this fight, John.
Yeah. Salter just waiting for Johnny to give him a little bit of a rise so he can start to pull on that leg. Sit up. Johnny not going to do anything at all. He's going to stay nice and based. Trying to keep heavy hips. Pinch down on the arm now that Salter has trapped.
Oh, and that was Salter looking for the leg lock. Eblen's lone submission win was via guillotine choke back in August of 2018. As they're back up on their feet, coming up on the final minute of the second round. And Johnny Eblen getting the best of the experienced former title challenger John Salter. Under a minute left here in the round. Nice body kick. Whip that into Salter.
And those body kicks and that little twitch of the leg that he's giving, it's giving Salter problems. He's not able to read what's coming.
Yeah, he's, again, John, you assess Eblen's performance here coming up on the final 30 seconds of the second round against a guy who has been there and done that against, you know, John Salter.
Well, I really like when Johnny goes into his orthodox stance, he utilizes that kick with the right leg.
Stuffs the takedown.
And he's got a good jab that he's using. When he goes into the southpaw, he doesn't seem to jab near as much.
Underhook and Salter on his feet. Knee up the middle. And that was a little south of the equipment.
Both guys throwing in that moment.
Here at the Family Arena, a shot to the family trees.
And at both guys. A little bit off on Johnny's, but.
Stay right there, buddy.
Yep.
Stay right there. No, stay there. Stay back there.
So he will have up to 5 minutes to recover with 11 seconds officially left here in the middle
stay right there.
stanza.
I want you to stay right over here, though. Stay right over here. Stay right over here. Stay right there with it. I know it was accidental, okay? Just got to watch that. All right? All right, buddy. You ready to go? You ready to go? Ready to go? Time in. Fight!
Action resumes. A touch of the gloves. And Eblen resumes his attack. Head kick blocked by Salter. But a good round for the undefeated Eblen, Big John.
Ready? Ready? Fight! Last round.
And for Salter, what is it going to take for him to salt away the victory? He's behind on your unofficial scorecard.
Yeah, I've got him behind 2 rounds. I think John Salter needs to actually work towards using. Oh, that was a beautiful kick right up the middle by Johnny Eblen.
And one up high, but it's Salter coming back with the left hand finish. Your thought about Salter, Johnny?
Salter needs to use his hands to get inside and work for a takedown. He's got to get to the top position. If he's not in the top position on the ground, Johnny's going to be able to stop what he's been doing again. So I look at it, he's got to get this force fight to the ground in the top position.
We continue to witness the growth of Johnny Eblen under the tutelage of the vaunted American top team, and he and Salter exchange in the stand-up, and Salter sneaks in a left hand. Eblen's still a little wild with the striking, John.
And every time he goes to southpaw more, I'm seeing he starts to get a little wider with his shots.
Right to the body by Salter. There's a right to the body by Eblen.
Johnny Eblen, when he's in that orthodox stance, clean, crisp, straight shots, beautiful jab. He's done some great work. Beautiful kick with the right leg to the body.
Salter leading with the left hand, but not setting it up with the jab as they feint. Sharp right hand down the middle, right to the body. Counter left upstairs by Salter. So Eblen using the jab as a range finder, John, and unable to find the range right now.
Yeah, and you can see right now, Eblen, nice kick by Salter, but Eblen is the guy who's right now, he's controlling the distance. When he wants to come in, he's coming in, landing his shots just like that right there. And Salter cannot get his counters off. He's missing the target.
Under 3 minutes left in the 3rd round. Salter, inside low kick, will try to do something to perhaps set up a takedown attempt, although again, against a guy who's been wrestling for 25 years, wrestled D1 at the University of Missouri. We talked about Salter's wrestling pedigree, and Eblen definitely getting the better of these striking exchanges.
No doubt about it.
And now marking up the face of Salter with right and caught him with a left hook.
And again, notice when he's in that orthodox stance, man, the straight right hand down the pipe, just like you just saw. The beautiful jab. When he's orthodox, Johnny Eblen is flowing. He's got the range down. He understands the timing.
He's checked right there by Eblen. 2 minutes left in the fight. Jab from the southpaw stance by Eblen. And I agree with Big John McCarthy that southpaw striking not as proficient as from the orthodox stance.
No, not.
And there he's case in point.
But he does create problems by going back and forth with that.
Oh, he's created plenty of problems for John Salter throughout this night.
I'll tell you what, that right kick to the body has been money for Johnny Eblen.
We've talked about the fact that this was on paper the toughest test of Johnny Eblen's burgeoning MMA career, and thus far passing that test and looking to take down John Salter with a single leg. And this is that wrestling exchange a lot of hardcores were looking forward to, considering their background. John Salter was looking forward to this, he said.
But he's got the legs now, and there he goes.
He wasn't looking forward to that, John. And a minute left now in the fight. Steve Mocco got Johnny Eblen to American Top Team, where he met Mike Brown, King Mo, Dean Thomas, and that murderer's row of competitors. Next thing he knew, he was quitting his job, fighting full time. And now with less than 30 seconds left, Johnny Eblen on the cusp of conquering the biggest name of his career, looking to move to 11-0.
Johnny Eblen has been smoother than a bowl of boards and cheese in this. He has just been fantastic.
The test is over. Let's see what kind of marks the judges give them.
Just was put off by everything that Johnny Eblen was able to bring. The takedowns caused him problems throughout this fight because he wasn't sure when they were coming. Almost came up with the armbar one time. Right there, it wasn't close, but it was the one attack that John Salter had. But that body kick, man, over and over he landed that, and then right back to taking him down again. John Salter just was unable to figure out the rhythm and pace of what Johnny Eblen was doing. And when he was in, like I said, that orthodox stance, that right hand, just beautiful. Here comes another kick to the body. All of those hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Marcel Varela, Jaron Villel, David Hewitt. All have exactly the same at 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, the human cheat code, Johnny Eblen.
Good to have baseball backhand. Johnny Eblen, he pitches a shutout in the biggest fight of his career, passing it with flying colors as he defeats John Salter, and he's standing by with Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Johnny Eblen. Johnny, that was just a beautiful performance against a very, very good veteran fighter, a guy that's crafty. You used your footwork, you had him off balance, you mixed up everything. You mixed up your wrestling, your hands. That human cheat code thing, it's starting to become real.
Damn right. But hey, let me take a second to thank all you innovators, all you electricians, plumbers, mechanics, all the people that do the dirty work in this society. I appreciate you guys for putting up with all the bullshit and making this dope-ass reality what it is so I can fight in the cage for their entertainment. I appreciate you guys so much.
Coming in here against a guy like Salter with all that experience and knowing that he had a really dangerous submission game, was that playing in the back of your head when you took him down the first time and he tried to lock in the triangle and tried for the armbar?
Yes, of course. I took him down and I was like, this dude knows what he's doing. So I had to take my time. It was kind of a boring first round. I apologize for that. I need to go back to the drawing board and fix some things up in that area, but hopefully you guys enjoy the performance tonight.
11-0 now. Your confidence is building. Your skill set is absolutely increasing with every fight. We're seeing it. Your coaches, they can't ask for anything more. What is it that you want?
Hey man, Mousasi said he didn't know who the fuck I was. I'm right here, dog. I'm ready to take your ass out. You're an old ass lion. I'm a young ass lion. Let's get up in here and let's make that fight happen.
Sounds good to me. Beautiful win. Congratulations on staying undefeated. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the undefeated Johnny, the human cheat code, Eblen.
MMA, the tale of the tape for tonight's main event.
You got to look, if you're going to go to anything here, take a look at these records. 49-7-2. This is his 59th fight, like you're saying. That's amazing. He is fighting at this level with that many fights. 11-0. Johnny Eblen has been perfect Can he keep it that way?
A big step up in class for Johnny Eblen, and class will soon be in session. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Middleweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Mr. Tom Cantone, Chief of Mohegan Tribe Lynn Malerba, and supervising at Cage Side Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185 pounds, entering his first world title fight, the #1 ranked contender stands undefeated with 11 wins, no losses. By way of Kansas City, Missouri, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Introducing the challenger, Johnny the Human Chico Eblen. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 185 pounds, in an unparalleled career. Tonight, looking for his 50th professional victory, he enters holding 49 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, fighting out of Amsterdam, Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, the defending two-time Bellator middleweight world champion, Gegard Mousasi. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Kerry Hatley.
All right, gentlemen, 5 rounds for the Bellator Middleweight Championship of the World. Conduct yourself like champions at all times. Obey the rules we went over in the dressing room at all times and fight hard. Touch them up if you're going to. Let's go to war.
Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator Middleweight Championship up for grabs. So many gaudy statistics for Mousasi, including 33 first-round finishes. The latest back in February against Eblen's teammate, Austin Vanderford. All 6 stoppage wins for Eblen have come in the opening round. The bell, and we are underway, scheduled for 5 for the Bellator Gold. Oblique kick right off the jump for Johnny Eblen.
Oblique kick, but take a look at the stance right now of Gegard Mousasi. He's kind of square. That's because he knows Eblen is a good wrestler, and he's going to give a little bit in the stand-up as far as opportunities for Johnny to try to connect, because he believes he's that much better, so he can stop the takedowns.
There's something to say about being calm and composed at the highest level of MMA. 2 of the all-time greats, Fedor Emelianenko and now Gegard Mousasi. They definitely do not like, they have great poker face.
Oh my God, the first time that I refereed Gegard Mousasi, he was fighting for the championship, and during the entire fight, which didn't last that long, his heart rate never went above 70. He was amazing to me. I was like, is this guy gonna fall asleep?
Well, in many ways, he's a Superman, wears the glasses, unassuming, doesn't court a lot of publicity, and yet mentioned at the top of the telecast, another all-time great, Khabib Nurmagomedov, calling him the most underrated fighter in MMA, and definitely a case to be made that he's been underappreciated, but all he continues to do is win at the highest level, close to 2 decades, John. But a beautiful combination from Johnny Eblen, and Eblen touches up Mousasi. Eblen's like, hey guys, I get it. Mousasi, and look at the veteran Mousasi recovering.
Eblen hurt him bad.
Yes, he did, and now working the wizard.
Johnny Eblen needs to try to separate right here. He's still hurt. There is no doubt that Gegard Mousasi got rocked.
And that's what Austin Vanderford tried to do in the opening round of his title defense. But Johnny Eblen said, hey, when I dethrone Mousasi, don't call it a shock. Well, he just shocked Mousasi's system.
He definitely put it where if Gegard wasn't awake before, he's awake now.
And you know what? Mousasi has only been knocked out once. And that was against Uriah Hall, which he avenged. But my, oh my, adversity for the champion here in round 1. But again, look at his countenance, John.
And this is the part where to go back to the keys to victory. In this position now, Johnny Eblen needs to do damage. If there's something that we talked about at the beginning of the show is Gegard Mousasi does not get damaged in just about any fight.
He remains calm under fire, although now Eblen taking his back. So Eblen, the underdog, coming in, looking to keep Mousasi from the golden milestone and what he hopes will be a golden night for American top teams. Couldn't ask for a better start for the challenger.
Nice job.
Takedown as Mousasi's looking for the Kimura.
Eblen doing a nice job getting his feet. It was a little bit difficult for him to get him up, so he couldn't drag his feet. Johnny holding on to that. Nice ride, just taking his time. Not trying to get crazy. He knows he hurt it. He doesn't want to get crazy and lose his position or lose what he has accomplished so far in this round.
Eblen says he has the tank, the best skill set to take out Mousasi. He granted that Mousasi has maybe a higher fight IQ, but Eblen says he's younger, more athletic, and he thinks he has a better gas tank, and he's definitely putting the pressure on. But look at Mousasi, the reversal by the champion, and he snatches the neck of Eblen. And now an exchange incredible.
I was going to say Eblen is losing his position. You have to realize when you're losing it, don't try to stick with it.
Wow, 45 seconds left. Plenty to dissect already in this championship fight.
Look, Eblen brought in Sean Strickland to be one of his sparring partners in the stand-up because he knows how tough Sean is and that he likes to, bang from the start. That brought confidence to his game, and he's showing that right now with Gegard.
And Mousasi, though, showing off his striking pedigree with the 1-2. And Mousasi, he trained with heavyweights, and oh yeah, owns a submission win over a mega heavyweight, Mark Hunt, in his career. He's recorded wins at middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. And hey, he's been in tough here against Johnny Eblen. Eblen showcasing his wares in the opening 5 minutes and having fun doing so, John.
This is the first shot right here. That beautiful left hand. Gegard felt that. There's no doubt that gave him a buzz. And then here comes the big right. This is the one. It was almost a forearm shiver that landed across his jaw. Watch how fast this comes. Bip. Nice job by Johnny Eblen, but Gegard able to get in, and that's amazing that he's able to survive that kind of reaction and get right in on the takedown, which gave him time.
And there is Mike Brown on the left, King Mo on the right. King Mo was 6-0, huge underdog 12 years ago when he challenged Mousasi for the Strikeforce light heavyweight title, took Mousasi down 11 times. Well, Mousasi went back to the drawing board, has become one of the best at defending the takedown, but hey, he went down courtesy of the power of Eblen in that first 5 minutes.
Well, he did. That was a great first round for Johnny Eblen.
Enough to give him the round, John?
Oh, absolutely. Johnny Eblen takes that round 10-9.
Gotta ask these days with judging. You never know, my man. And there's a sharp jab by Mousasi.
That jab is what Mousasi really needs to start to rely on.
But there's that left hand again for Eblen. Finding the range, the timing, delivering a body kick. Oh, but then Mousasi tags Eblen. Eblen looking for the takedown. Explodes, reverse. And Mousasi very active from his back, but Eblen goes into side control.
Great job by Johnny Eblen. A lot of movement there, but he wins the scramble, gets to the top position, now inside mountain.
And while it's been proven to be very difficult to keep Mousasi down, Johnny Eblen working from side control, looking to maximize this advantageous position. And yet Mousasi delivering right hands from the bottom. There's a left hand up top from Eblen. One thing's for sure, Mousasi will not willingly accept this position, John.
No, but this is, in my opinion, against Gegard, this is a really solid position. A lot of times wrestlers like to get into the half guard so they can trap on that leg. Gegard's very good at moving himself into a position for the sweep or to escape. He's got a lot of movement to get through from that side control position.
2 minutes gone here in the second round, and Johnny Eblen 3 for 3 in the takedown department. But here's the attempted reversal by Mousasi. Gets to his feet momentarily, but Eblen bringing him back down to the canvas. And Eblen acquitting himself well here in his first title shot.
Mousasi had that. That was a beautiful hook sweep that he got to get himself in a position to get back to his feet. Eblen right away just driving into him, still in a position where he has his hands around him.
Mousasi taken down yet again by Eblen, his fourth takedown.
This is great work by Johnny Eblen. He's really making Mousasi work here. You want to get Gegard where his heart rate's up high. That's exactly what Johnny Eblen is doing.
And chants of "Let's Go Johnny" begin to fill Mohegan Sun Arena. Eblen fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida by way of Kansas City, Missouri. Minute 45 left, and Gegard Mousasi gets back to his feet while Eblen tries to keep him along the fence, and on the break, Eblen delivers an elbow strike.
That's a nice job by Johnny Eblen on the exit. If you're going to, need that separation, make him pay one last time.
Eblen misses with a wild left. Jab through the guard by Mousasi. Blocks that overhand left by Eblen. Inside kick by the champion.
Johnny getting a little bit more flat-footed right now. Obviously, starting to feel a little bit of the heart rate going up. Trying to gain some time that he can breathe and get his heart rate down.
Into the 10th minute of this championship fight. And Eblen has looked very good and lands a nice combination there, culminating with that left hook to the side of Mousasi's head. Good kick from Mousasi, and may have bounced off the cup. The combination, final 15 seconds of the second round, and the game plan being put together by Eblen, and the move at American Top Team delivering dividends through 2 rounds of action here.
Absolutely. That experience will do. Eblen changing levels, driving in to Gegard. Beautiful takedown by Johnny Eblen. Kick up the middle. In fact, a little clubbing right hand didn't do any kind of damage, but that separation gives Johnny Eblen a little bit of time. I thought Johnny Eblen overall, he's fought a very smart and really mature fight. His fight IQ is up there. He's showing that. I have him up 2 rounds to none.
Third round. Kicks. Scores for Eblen, feinting,
really
trying to
nice head
up the rhythm, and nice combination. Land the right hand. Mousasi avoided that other right, but now Eblen sitting down on his punches.
Really nice head movement by Johnny Eblen. See good feints.
Oh, nice jab countered by Mousasi.
That's that jab that Mousasi needs to keep sticking.
Calf kick lands for Mousasi. Yeah, and he moves back and avoids that combination from Eblen. Mousasi on defense, sidesteps that. Eblen from southpaw. Exchange body kicks. Mousasi seemingly wanting to continue to collect the data, and again, he saw it in the feature, didn't know allegedly who Johnny Eblen is. Well, he's definitely beginning.
He knows who he is
very
now.
well through the first 2 rounds, and yet never showing any panic. And yet Eblen continues to land the strikes. Although Mousasi credited with 10 more strikes landed. Again, it's been the wrestling of Eblen and the striking. I mean, he hurt Gegard Mousasi in the opening round.
I'll say that Gegard has landed more strikes, but Johnny Eblen has landed the more powerful strikes throughout this.
And there's that overhand right that landed. Midway through the round in this championship fight, again, the sharpshooting jab of Mousasi, but no follow-up. It's all single shots.
Exactly. And that right now is because he's worried about the wrestling and being taken down. But Johnny Eblen has been successful with it so far.
Now Mousasi pumps the jab. Eblen feinting, wanting to get Mousasi to bite, and scores with a lead right.
Well, look at the difference right now. At least Johnny Eblen, most of the time, he's moving his head. He's giving a little bit of movement, just like you see right there. Gegard Mousasi's head's right on the center line.
Yes, it is. And he just ate that body kick to the liver by the southpaw stance of Johnny Eblen. Another oblique kick from Mousasi. The jab was parried by Eblen. And again, John finding a home for that right hand. And another right hand lands for Eblen to the face of the Bellator middleweight champion. Mousasi's offense has to be comprised of a lot more than just the jab here against this hungry challenger. Johnny Eblen, just 6 years younger than Mousasi at 30, but a huge disadvantage in experience, a major step up, and so far he has proven that, yeah, he belongs in this championship fight as the #1 contender. Final minute of the round. Rare right hand for Mousasi.
What you saw just a moment ago when you saw Eblen throw that big right hand just like he just did there. You need to see Mousasi have a counter. When he's not countering, it's telling you he's tired. Take a look at Mousasi right now. His mouth is open. He's breathing through his mouth. Which means he's at an oxygen deficit right now.
We'll check the kick through the right hand. Final 15 seconds. Another strong round for the challenger, Johnny Eblen. As we head into the championship round.
Comes Eblen, beautiful left, right. A little bit wild on it, but both touch him. Mousasi coming back with his counters. Steps back, nice, clean, just round straight 4. Right, left hand. Round doesn't 4. Do any damage to Johnny, but it touches.
Back up.
Nice, big right hand at the end of the extension, so ended not with a lot of power, but it definitely touched that chin.
Round four, ready?
Johnny Eblen has fought a beautiful fight so far, utilizing both his striking and his wrestling. He's got Gegard in a position where Gegard is not sure what's coming.
We have entered the championship rounds. Round 4, Mousasi possesses one of the best jabs in the sport, but jab alone won't be enough against Johnny Eblen, not on this night.
Oh, Johnny Eblen right now, he's gaining confidence as the fight's going on.
Head kick. But you're right about Mousasi's body language and the fact that he remains with his head on the center line.
See right there, normally you're seeing a good counter from Mousasi. It's almost like he's a little tired and he's just unable to get it off. Nice job by Johnny Eblen.
Make a with 6 takedowns for Johnny Eblen. 1 minute gone in round 4.
Gegard Mousasi, most of the time, able to get to the top position against all of his opponents. Has not found that once in this fight. Again, finds himself with his back against the cage. Johnny Eblen putting a lot of pressure on him. Not a lot of damage, but time is just clicking by, and he's having to carry Johnny Eblen's weight, getting more and more tired.
Eblen has a hook in with, as Mousasi's back. He has 1 guillotine choke, the lone submission victory for Johnny Eblen. As Mousasi finds himself in rough waters against the #1 contender.
Eblen needs to be very careful of not allowing Mousasi to turn inside.
Mousasi
back control
has been submitted 3 times, never via rear naked choke.
Right now, there's not even close to just what we call a seatbelt position. Controlling the position with Mousasi. There's no danger right now to a submission. That can always change. Doing a nice job riding to the top position, just continuing to put pressure on Mousasi. Mousasi trying to bring the knee up, not quite there.
Mousasi walking down, Eblen now delivers the body kick, but just single shots. There's that jab that misses. Eblen looking to parry the jab, and again, chance of let's go Johnny. And heading into the final minute of the 4th round, Eblen secures another takedown, make that 7 in the final minute of this penultimate round.
This is where I feel Johnny Eblen really needs to start to open up. Start to try to do things that cause damage here. You've been winning the stand-up in the outside. Your wrestling's been great. Start doing damage to the ground. Make it to where he doesn't even want to get back to his feet.
Are we on the verge of a major upset for the middleweight championship? Johnny Eblen bringing the fight to the champion Mousasi, heading into the 5th and final round. And protege on the verge of becoming just the 7th fighter to hold the Bellator middleweight championship, Johnny Eblen, with less than 5 minutes now to pull off this upset.
Johnny Eblen's out. Moving, good footwork, sticking the jab. He knows where he's at. He knows how much more he has to do.
You also know what Gegard Mousasi all night and letting Mousasi know. Gegard Mousasi tonight, not taking anything away from Johnny Eblen, because it's been Johnny Eblen's night, and that's been the case. But anything that you can point out that might lead to even more insight as to what has not been a great night for Gegard Mousasi at all?
No, it's definitely not been a great night for him, but that's because of Johnny Eblen. It's the things that Johnny Eblen... I want you to go back to the first round. Was he able to hurt him?
Yeah.
In the first round, again, we talked about at the start of the show, Gegard does not get damaged. He got damaged in the first round. He's been damaged in a couple other rounds, and that has made a difference in this fight. Johnny Eblen has just done a fantastic job.
Mousasi 7-1 here in Bellator again in the midst of his second reign, the lone loss. Outpointed by Rafael Lovato Jr. for the title. Lovato Jr. forced to relinquish the title and retire from the sport. And now it's Johnny Eblen. How impressed have you been with his striking?
I mean, super impressed. I've been saying for a while, his striking is getting better and better. He's more confident in his hands. He's more confident in this fight than I've seen him in any fight. Obviously, he put in the work that he needed. He went the rounds with the guys that were pushing him and making him better, and it's all paying off tonight.
Another takedown attempt pays off for the challenger. Johnny Eblen has completely neutralized one of the best finishers in mixed martial arts. We have sung his praises, rightfully so, throughout the night, but Johnny Eblen earning the praise.
There's always that night that comes when you know it's not your night, but it is your opponent's, and everything they do works for them, and everything that you try just doesn't seem to work for you. And that's what we've seen tonight.
And Eblen told us, he warned us, he says, hey, he doesn't think a lot of people realize how good he is because he hasn't fought many high-level guys. He recorded a big win over the veteran John Salter, who of course challenged Mousasi, but this has been, you know, an amazing effort by Johnny Eblen, and Gegard Mousasi is stuck.
He is stuck. You know, and this is why everyone gets into MMA math, and we try to tell you, look, you can't use MMA math. Styles make fights. Certain people on certain nights can beat anybody. Johnny Eblen is that good. We've seen him before as far as have nights where he just, everything he did worked. And tonight, it's happening again for him. He looks fantastic.
Began his athletic career in wrestling at the age of 5. We talked about his credentials at the University of Missouri. And then Steve Moko, well-known and accomplished amateur wrestler, brought Johnny Eblen to American Top Team, where he has trained with an all-star camp, some of the best fighters in the sport. And Johnny Eblen is on his way to proving that he is one of the best fighters in the sport, as he is 25 seconds away from upsetting an all-time great in Gegard Mousasi.
Not only upsetting, in my opinion, winning every round of the fight.
And putting a punctuation mark on the proceedings with another takedown. Johnny Eblen. What a performance. The human cheat code.
We're going to have some highlights here, but it's all going to be Johnny Eblen because, really, big left hand. This was the start of the fight, and this is what I said. The big thing is we didn't see Gegard Mousasi get damaged a lot. He got damaged right there. That's called damage. He got rocked. And that happened early in the fight, and it had an effect on the fight. Yes, he was able to get the takedown, but overall, Johnny Eblen was able to land the big shots, get the big takedowns, hold position, create the problems. Johnny Eblen in this fight was unstoppable. Everything that he tried worked. He was confident. He felt good. This is a wrestler. Look at him using his hands because he has worked on it. And that's the big thing that I think that needs to be said, Mauro. You've got to give Johnny Eblen all the credit. That is hard work that's paying off.
King Mo.
And no!
Hey, he's letting it be known. American top team, one of the top camps, and they may also be adding to their extensive trophy case here tonight.
Fuck no. It's my fucking belt. I'm the best in the fucking world.
With the official decision, here is Michael C. Williams.
Biggest upset in history, my house.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's world title fight, we go now to your 3 judges at cage side: Brian Miner, Marcel Varela, David Peabody. All see it exactly the same at 50 to 45 for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator middleweight world champion, Johnny the Human Chico Eblen.
Gracious in defeat, the class act that is Gegard Mousasi, but wow! A clean sweep on the judges' scorecards, and Johnny Eblen has a big reason to celebrate. He is the new Bellator middleweight champion. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
I don't know. When you and Josh were talking about me, you didn't seem like you believed in me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the new middleweight champion of the world, Johnny Eblen. How does it feel wearing that around your waist?
It feels right. This whole week felt right. I didn't feel like anything was bigger than me. I just felt like I was in the right place the whole time. This feels right. I don't know what I'm doing right, but God damn it, this feels good.
It should feel good. You put in the hard work through those coaches over there, Mike Brown, Mo Law.
Shout out to Functional Patterns and American Top Team and all my sponsors. Hey, without FP and without American Top Team, I would not be here right now. Shout out Nadia Aguilar, Pablo Martin, Johnny Nielsen, and my corner, Dustin Poirier, fucking Tiago, Mo, Mike, my manager, Brian Butler. You all believed in me, and this is what got me here.
Let's talk about
Dan Lambert, shout out, dog. You have the best gym in the world. You make it hard to leave. Thank you.
Let's talk about your progression with your stand-up. You've always been a wrestler. You came in through your whole life wrestling.
Yeah.
But your stand-up is what won you this fight here tonight. You hurt him in the first round.
Stand-up and wrestling. Shout out George Masvidal, Dustin, everybody I strike with at ATT, Roman Feraldo. I got hit a couple times, so I'm not gonna remember everybody's name. But yeah, my strikling's developed, but I utilized my wrestling grappling today too. You guys saw I could take the back today. I almost got a rear naked choke. I'm the best in the fucking world in all areas. Human cheat code, that's why my nickname's the Human Cheat Code.
We're gonna get another motorcycle now?
Nah. I'm honestly thinking about giving it up, dog. Because now that I got this, I got too much to live for almost. It's a little scary riding that thing, but it's fun. It's pretty close to fighting. I'm a little crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh yeah, shout out Sean Strickland, bro. You pushed me for this fight.
So if given the opportunity, who should be the guy that comes in to face you for that belt next?
I don't know, man. Whoever. I'm ready for anybody. Right now, I got to take some time off, relax a little bit, let this soak in, and then we'll talk about it. I don't know.
Well, you deserve the time off. Congratulations on being the champ. That was a masterful performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the champ, Johnny the Human Cheat Code Eblen.
Right, let's go now to the tail of the tape for our first of 2 championship fights here tonight at Bellator 290.
Man, as simple as it gets. You take a look at it, things are very close here, but look at those records. 12-0 for Johnny Eblen, the champion. 31-2 for Anatoly Tokov.
With the official introductions, here's Michael C. Williams.
Live on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus, Bellator MMA Now presents tonight's co-main event, 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Middleweight World Championship. Introducing first, the blue corner, At 5'10", weighing in 184.8 pounds, unbeaten inside the Bellator cage, he holds an impressive overall record of 31 professional victories, 2 losses, ranked at number 3. He enters his first ever world title fight, presenting the challenger, Anatoly Tokov. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 184 pounds even. After a dominant performance to capture the title tonight, he makes his first defense, entering as an undefeated professional, 12 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, the defending Bellator middleweight world champion, Johnny the Human Cheat Code Eblen. And the referee in charge, Frank Trigg.
Mike, we bringing him in? Just to bring him in. Come on, guys. Come on. Good. Gentlemen, you received the instructions in your locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's go back to your corners and come out swinging.
You're not going to touch gloves. They're going to intensely stare through each other as we get set for this Bellator middleweight championship fight. All 6 of Johnny Eblen's finishes have come in the first round for Anatoly Tokov. He has 11 wins via first round knockout or submission and has a victory over former Bellator middleweight champion Alexander Shlemenko. The bell and round 1. Experience for Anatoly Tokov, with this being his 34th professional fight compared to Eblen's 13th, but Eblen, a fast learner, went down to Florida and was introduced to ATT by 2-time NCAA National Wrestling Champion and Iowa 2008 U.S. Olympian Steve Mocco. One of the better decisions Mocco's made. He's made many, but definitely changed Eblen's life.
Oh, he absolutely is. Steve Mocco he's a crazy man. He's an outstanding wrestling coach. And he brought Johnny Eblen there because he saw something in him. And there has been no doubt. Everybody that trains with Johnny Eblen says, oh my God, this guy is the best middleweight fighter in the world. There is no doubt he's that good.
Calf kick by Eblen. Came into the sport. He's a hard-working wrestler out of the University of Missouri. Same school that former Bellator champions Ben Askren and Mike Chandler attended. There's a combination by Eblen, and since going to ATT, really focusing on his striking, and has really grown exponentially when it comes to his boxing techniques.
Well, he's now throwing combinations that you just don't see a lot of mixed martial artists throwing. He's throwing double hooks. He's doing all kinds of things that are not easy to do, but he's doing it based upon the fact that his wrestling is so good. He can get himself out of bad positions at times. Johnny Eblen is the real deal, and the fact that he utilizes all elements of mixed martial arts makes him extremely difficult.
Counter right by Tokov, who immediately latches on to Eblen.
And you saw him out of position, but back was unable to get to that point of the takedown, but that was a nice right hand by Anatoly Tokov.
Left high kick blocked by Tokov. Body kick by Tokov. Tokov began training military hand-to-hand combat and judo at 14. Of course, Eblen, we talk about his background as a wrestler, started at the age of 5. Midway point of the opening round, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator middleweight crowd. The jab lands for Tokov. Good exchange.
Very nice exchange. Tokov, we talked about his intelligence as a fighter and his ability to change the momentum. For a little bit there, you saw Johnny Eblen being able to back him up. He knew that he can't have that happen, and so right away starts creating that lateral movement, circling off, making it so Johnny Eblen cannot back him up. Very intelligent.
Since that incredible victory over Mousasi to become champion, Eblen doing the lot of sparring and really working on growing his fight IQ. He told us that it's never been better, and he's been working on going to the body more, getting slicker with his defense, and utilizing that southpaw stance more, and we've seen glimpses of that so far in this fight.
Oh, yeah. He started off with that wrestling base, and he was a guy that would take you down, ground and pound, and get the TKO. And then once he really started working on the stand-up, he has just evolved as a fighter, and so he utilizes the wrestling to make his stand-up more dangerous because you're worried about him taking you down. But no, he comes in with his hands and lands clean shots.
Level change by Eblen, but Tokov doing a good job there. Overhook and underhook, and now Eblen backs him to the fence as they grapple in close quarters, exchanging knees, jockeying for position. Eblen putting all of his weight on Tokov, but Tokov's one strong middleweight.
Tokov's defensive wrestling is just outstanding. He's got great balance, and he's able to just put weight on the arms, start to tire you out. You're seeing what he's doing right here. He's just kind of hanging on Johnny's arms. Now, Johnny's got his hands clasped, but in the position they're at, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have to bring his hands either up high or down low towards the hips to start to get that body lock position where he can take him down.
On the break, Eblen looking for that slashing elbow, misses with it, but lands the left.
It was a nice exit by Johnny Eblen. They'll always leave them with something to remember on the exit.
Time plumbing, some knees from Eblen, showcasing his diversive offensive attack.
Unofficially, I had Johnny Eblen just squeaking by in that round. It was a close round.
Ready?
Anatoly had some moments, but he needs to throw out more and land with effectiveness.
And going to break, I'm known to create, new words. Diverse offensive attack. And the diversity is on display. Calf kick by Eblen.
On those calf kicks like that, Tokov needs to counter and make Eblen pay for it. He cannot just sit there.
Double jab. Sorry, John, double jab, chopping right hand by Tokov. Good combination. A lot of feinting. Each wanting to get the other to bite first. Nice feint there, and Tokov lands the right, avoids the combo from Eblen. Good body movement by Eblen, trying to showcase his defense, looking to slip the punch. It does on the left, but got caught with the right.
Very clean jabs by Anatoly Tokov, though. That jab is setting up his other shots.
Sharp jab splits the guard of Eblen by Tokov and clips Eblen. Hard jab to the face by Tokov.
Tokov getting range down. His counter strikes are starting to land.
Bellator MMA on CBS from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. You're watching the second round of this Bellator middleweight championship fight between the champion Johnny Eblen in the red gloves, the challenger Anatoly Tokov in the blue. Big John McCarthy and Mauro Ranallo here at cage side, joined by Amanda Guerra, Josh Thompson at the fight desk. Double jab again, and Tokov doing a good job of making sure he doubles up on that jab.
That jab's making a difference in this round. He's establishing that jab. It's making his right hand be effective. It's a big right hand.
Big right hand from Eblen. Looking for the home run shot, the body kick as well, and Eblen now getting aggressive in his attack. 2 minutes have elapsed here in the second. And everything for Tokov begins with that textbook stick, John, the jab.
It does, but you can see Tokov is starting to breathe hard. Take a look at the color on his face right now. He's having a little bit of an oxygen deprivation problem. You can see it.
And he's making investments to the body with that kick, trying to slow down Eblen's advances. And Eblen showing the vestiges of a battle on his face.
No doubt, he's taking some shots, especially in this round. Tokov's been doing very well, but you can see he's got to find those places within the round where you can take that deep breath, get yourself back to feeling well.
Yeah, Tokov has landed twice as many strikes as Eblen in this round. And there, nice 1-2 by Eblen, and Eblen again sits down on that right hand.
It's 2 right hands in a row that landed cleanly for Johnny Eblen.
An intense battle here where both Tokov and Eblen sitting down on their punches, looking to break the will and the spirit of their opponent. They hope to walk out of the aforementioned LA as the Bellator middleweight champ. Nice right hand body kick, left hook combo by Tokov, sprawled by Tokov, but then Eblen, when Tokov bounced up, caught him with the right.
Very nice sequence by Anatoly Tokov.
Oh, what a shot by Tokov! He staggered Eblen.
That was on the top of the head.
And Eblen comes back with a 1-2 of his own.
Anatoly would be lucky if that didn't hurt his hand, and you hit someone on the top of the head. It's like hitting just a stone wall.
And you know, still to come, Fedor Emelianenko's final fight. Tokov's mentor, he's had issues with his right hand over the years as well, but overcame some. Oh! Tokov gets dropped on the right hand from Eblen, but bounces up right away, able to clinch with Eblen. And now Eblen backs him to the fence, but Eblen was able to drop him with the right, and now drops him with a takedown.
I think that was an elbow that he actually landed on Tokov. That's a big game changer.
It definitely is, because now Eblen unloading on Tokov.
That was a huge elbow shot. We saw earlier, Lorenz Larkin, what an elbow will do. Elbows
on the prelims, not the short candidate.
Johnny Eblen taking this round back by hurting Tokov. Tokov was winning it. Effective damage right here by Johnny Eblen.
The ebb and flow of a mixed martial arts championship fight. We are going to round 3 after this.
Boy, take a look right here. Eblen goes for the takedown. Tokov blocks it, stonewalls it, basically lands the left hand, and then touches him with the right. Not a whole lot of power on the right, but here was that elbow. Boom. You saw it touch the shoulder, but it didn't touch the temple, and it definitely had an effect on Anatoly Tokov. Took him right off his feet.
Messed with Tokov's equilibrium as we are set for round number 3.
Ready?
Eblen's first
Ready?
title defense. And Eblen's right eye was swelling, beginning to really show the effects of what has been a tough task as expected. I mean, once you're the champion, it doesn't get easier.
And when you're the champion, all you have is a target on you. And look, I thought Tokov was winning that round until that elbow landed, knocking him down to the ground. That is what we're looking for. Damage in the fight. Johnny Eblen landed that damage. It was the biggest shot of the round. And that's why Johnny Eblen gets around tonight.
Tokov continues to work on that right eye of Eblen with his jab. They exchange body kicks. Eblen leading with the left, really using it as a bait, and now Eblen with the level change and runs right through Tokov into the takedown, immediately lands a couple of right hands to make that left hand for good measure.
One of the things that Eblen, you take a look at the difference between him and Tokov. Tokov is throwing straight punches in the stand-up. Eblen's throwing looping shots. That's why Tokov has been successful. He's got the shorter reach, but he's getting there faster with the straight punches.
Waistlock employed by Eblen, and grappling going out now. Tokov looking to turn into Eblen, defending this attempt at the takedown. Eblen is 2 for 4 in takedowns thus far in this fight, while Tokov 0 for 1.
Eblen getting his hands locked.
Takes him down, and again, ground and pound from, and that punch under the armpit. Dan Henderson is on location here tonight. The H-bomb that felled Fedor in their fight was under the armpit, very similar.
Anytime that comes under the arm like that, you cannot see the punch, and it's always the ones that you don't see that hurt you the most.
And nice return by Eblen.
Those mat returns, Morrow, every time you get taken down like that, you work your way to get back up, and then boom, you're going back down. It is demoralizing as a fighter. And right now, what Johnny Eblen is trying to do is he's starting to try to break Anatoly Tokov. What he's saying is, my conditioning is better than yours. I can push harder than you, and I'm going to push you off the cliff.
You're an NC2A Division I wrestler. Conditioning should never be an issue, right, John? Even when your MMA career, what wrestling does is incredible. I mean, so many mixed martial artists talk about wrestling being the key. Big spinning back elbow missed by Eblen, but it builds every facet of a fighter when you're a wrestler.
There is nothing.
Mental, physical, strategy.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. There's nothing more grinding than that wrestling in that room. The work it takes to be good at it. It just builds character, it builds a
Final 2 minutes of the third. Right hand countered by Tokov lands.
Again, straight punches by Tokov.
Down kick by Eblen. Oh, and Eblen just missed with that right cross. Eblen level change sprawl by Tokov, defends the takedown. And Eblen now 4 of 7 in the takedown department. And again, with those takedowns, we've seen Tokov bounce back up. We've seen the mat returns, but it's really been, for the most part, large part, a tremendous striking battle where each of them have had their moments.
Each of them had their moments, the big moments. Normally been with Johnny Eblen, though. He's landed the ones that have knocked Tokov down. He's gotten the takedowns, the big elbow strikes on the breaks. Those are the differences in this fight right now.
Away from the power of Tokov in the orthodox stance, looking to unload that right, and Eblen using his striking, trying to set up a takedown attempt, and again wailing away wide looping shots that miss.
That was a nice shot that he landed at the beginning of that series, though. Tokov took it well, but man, you can only take so many before you
Oh, when he landed another stinging shot, and Tokov took it. But like you say, John, punch resistance begins to wear down the more you absorb.
Johnny Eblen just needs to start throwing just a little bit straighter on his punches. Those are going to get there faster, and they're going to hit the target.
Nice right hand lands for Tokov. And he expected this to be a battle of attrition. We are headed into the championship rounds for the Bellator Middleweight Championship. Best friend, I got to say more about him than anyone else. All right, here we go, round number 4. Everything I said was true, though, and it's incredible to see such a reunion of these all-time greats, and again, it speaks to the respect that Fedor Emelianenko has earned as Eblen is on the ground momentarily, and immediately Tokov goes after him, and then Eblen pops him with a right uppercut.
Eblen again wins that exit. Again, Eblen much better off with straight punches.
Nice level.
Nice, beautiful job of turning that corner from Eblen.
And you're right, John, it's not just straight ahead. He creates angles with the takedowns.
That makes it so much more difficult to defend. Right now, if you're Anatoly Tokov, you got off of that stool, you had your minute break. Now you're having a guy with all that weight, 200 pounds basically, crushing down on you. And after all that work, it tires you out faster, it's wearing.
Eblen does have one submission victory, the guillotine choke against Raymond Carter back in 2018, and there is a man we talked about how important he has been to the maturation process of Johnny Eblen. That is King Mo. Eblen calls him his big brother and his #1 hype man.
Well, he's the one running the controller on the human cheat code.
And that's the guy who christened him with that nickname. And so, again, when you know, the old cliche, well, it's a cliche because it's true, iron sharpens iron, and both these fighters have a lot of iron in their calves.
Tokov really needs to work to get back to his feet. He cannot stay in his positions. The fight is starting to slip away from him. Johnny Eblen's starting to take over. When I talk about that RPM level that he's able to maintain compared to his opponents, this is what I'm talking about. He pushes you past that point, your comfort zone is gone. Beautiful that return.
Tokov looks to turn into Eblen, and absolutely right, John. As always, the pressure, the pace. Johnny Eblen's gas tank is very big, and he's really continuing to utilize that wrestling to break down Anatoly Tokov here in the penultimate round. Now 6 of 11 in the takedown department for Eblen.
Very sweet job. You saw Johnny take that right hand, bring that ankle away from him. That brought Anatoly back to the mat. Brings the knee up. Anatoly has got no answer right now to get rid of the hands of Johnny Eblen. Can't break the hands, and if you can't break the hands...
Oh, another elbow strike and a jab and another level change and another takedown, but it's Tokov trying to find a way to neutralize Johnny Eblen, and of course at this stage of the fight, bodies are slippery, so any submission attempt will be that much more difficult.
Well, a lot of people are going to look and think, well, he's got a guillotine. This is not a guillotine. He has no legs engaged in this. There's no way that he's going to get any kind of choke right here. Right now, basically, he's trying to control the posture and position of Johnny Eblen. Think of all the times that you've watched Anatoly Tokov work his way back to his feet. Now what did you just see, Mauro? Now he's settled. He's settled for the position, which is telling you, I'm getting tired.
His power bar is depleting. Final 60 seconds of the 4th round. Tokov trying to control Eblen's posture. Eblen now creating some separation, looking to pass the guard. Into side control, content on delivering elbows, and now again has Tokov's back. Blowing that waist lock, and Tokov, you're right, John, he's muted in his recovery here, just accepting his fate at this particular moment in time.
Yeah, at this point, he cannot figure out how to break the hands and stop what Johnny Eblen's doing. Every time he gets to a position where he gets himself back to his feet, Johnny switches it up, opens up, lands the shot, goes back for the takedown, or just takes and elevates him up, and Matt returns him. This has been a dominating round by Johnny Eblen.
We saw the domination when he won the title, mixing up the striking and the wrestling against Mousasi. He's a complete package, and Eblen exploding again, the level change, looking for the single leg. 5th and final round coming up.
You can't protect yourself, and right now, Anatoly Tokov is facing it.
5th and final round. Johnny Eblen firing up the crowd here at the Kia Forum, just outside of Los Angeles in Inglewood. It's a suburb of LA, and Anatoly Tokov he's bouncing up and down, trying to summon that inner warrior, trying to find a way to get back into this fight. And how do you have, well, on cue, John, there's the scorecard.
Look, I'm being honest, I had the second round going towards Tokov until that knockdown with the elbow. I got Johnny Eblen in a shutout right now. He is starting to take over this fight. He's dominating.
Eblen says his goal is to clear out the division. He said he is going to be the GOAT, and the more you talk to him, the more you believe him. Self-confidence is everything. And he's backing it up.
Yeah, and one of the things, you know, look, if you see Johnny Eblen in training, Johnny Eblen puts himself in horrible positions and then works his way out of it. So there's nothing inside the cage that he faces that he hasn't faced in training and worked his way out of it.
So even before becoming a champion, he had the work ethic of one.
That builds confidence that, hey, I can face anything. I'm not worried about anything. I can get myself out. Right now, Anatoly, he needs a home run, man. He needs to land that big right hand.
17 of his 31 wins have come via knockout. Last one in his last fight when he destroyed Muhammad Abdullah at Bellator 282. The same night, Eblen became champion, so they're on the same schedule.
Nice head movement right there, slipping and ripping by Johnny Eblen.
Final 3 minutes of the fight. And Eblen again shoots in for the takedown. And records.
Big time takedown right there. That's right in front of us, Mauro. And you can see Anatoly Tokov breathing hard. He has worked his butt off to get out of this position throughout the fight. And he just cannot get to the point where break free of Johnny Eblen. Eblen's the one that's going to determine when that break occurs.
Eblen has now recorded 8 takedowns in 15 attempts, continuing to deplete the tank of Anatoly Tokov as again takes him back down and just dominates from the back, rounding Tokov, wearing them down, systematically dismantling them, outstriking, out-grappling Johnny Eblen in his first title defense, showing the world why he is the Bellator middleweight champion.
Big time mat return. This is unbelievably defeating if you're Anatoly Tokov. You work your way back, Johnny Eblen picks you up, takes you back down. And this is a guy undefeated in the Bellator cage at this point. Anatoly Tokov has been fantastic, 31-2 for his career, and he is just being dominated in this fight.
Eblen tenderizing the right leg of Tokov, adding insult to injury here, continues to just drive the knee, and now Tokov able to come back to his feet, but I believe that Eblen probably allows him just so he can do the mat return again.
He almost put himself right into a mount position. Now you're seeing it again. Anatoly, tired, he's starting to accept.
Yeah. Struggling against the uber-aggressive Johnny Eblen, all over the number 3 ranked contender. Bloodied up his face, battering his body, taking away his foundation with those knees to his legs. Johnny Eblen has demonstrated a little bit of everything that makes him an undefeated fighter in the best of 185 in Bellator.
Johnny Eblen.
What a belly-to-back suplex, a German suplex by Eblen, and yet Tokov again gets to his feet, but that was impressive. And even equally impressive is that Tokov is now going for the choke. It's incredible. Fans appreciating what they've witnessed through 5 championship rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in this world title fight, will go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first, Chris Crail, scores the fight 50-45, while judges Ron McCarthy and Elliot Kelly both see it the same, 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, and still Bellator middleweight world champion Johnny the Human Chica Eblen.
And Johnny Eblen now stands alone at first for the longest active win streak in Bellator, with 9 consecutive wins and a successful first middleweight title defense. Let's go to Big John.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the middleweight champion of the world, defending that title, Johnny Eblen. You look fantastic, and you just kept building the momentum throughout this fight.
That's just how I fight, John. As the fight goes on, I get better. I just keep fucking getting better. I'm the real king of cardio. Colby Covington ain't shit.
I don't even know who that is. So what I...
Facts, fuck that guy.
Look, that's 2 impressive performances in a row. One against a guy that had over 50 fights, another guy now at 33. Who is it that deserves a shot at this belt?
Hey, it looks like Mousasi and Edwards are getting after it in May, I think. May in Paris. Looking like a #1 contender fight, so I'll take the winner of that.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a fantastic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Human Cheat Code.
Thank you, LA. You guys are awesome. Give it up to me, baby. Let's go.
Johnny Eblen.
And on that note, Big John McCarthy, let's go to the numbers, the tail of the tape for our main event for the Bellator middleweight world championship.
Yeah, if you're going to look at anything, you got to look at that reach advantage. 79.5 is a massive reach compared to 74 inches, and Fabian uses it very well. Is it going to be the difference here, or does Johnny crush with pressure?
From Johnny Denver to Johnny Eblen to, well, Michael C. Williams as we are set. Eblen versus Edwards for all the gold.
Bellator MMA tonight from Dublin, Ireland, live on Showtime. Inside 3 Arena, the time has come for the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Middleweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman James Gessner, supervising at cage side, Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185 pounds even, the #1 ranked contender in his first world title fight, enters with 12 professional victories, 2 losses, fighting out of Birmingham, England, presenting the challenger, Fabian the Assassin Edwards. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 184.6 pounds, in his second defense of his world title tonight as a professional. He stands perfect at 13-0 by way of Kansas City, Missouri. He's fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated, reigning and defending Bellator middleweight world champion, Johnny "Pressure" Eblen. And at the bell, the referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Gentlemen, went over the rules. This is for the title. Fight hard. Keep it clean. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Get back to your room. Corners.
The champion Eblen blending his boxing with his wrestling. He told us he's going to rearrange Edwards' fist with his face and take that belt, the Bellator Middleweight Championship, back to America for Fabian Edwards. He feels, well, he's going to put the war in his last name, but he doesn't think it goes the distance. He thinks he finishes Eblen in round 2 or 3.
We will see.
We will see.
Ready? Ready? Fight!
And immediately Eblen with the high kick blocked by Edwards. Of course, it was a dramatic final pound left head kick that gave Edwards' brother Leon the thrill of a lifetime. Edwards looking to equal that. And for their mother, Verona, we talked about at the start of the show, she is watching at home in England on TV. She cannot be live. She gets too nervous. And even when she's at home watching, they send them film after the fight showing how grateful she gets watching her kids compete.
Notice how he has taken control of the cage. He's the one that's dictating where the fight's going to take place, and he has Johnny Eblen moving so that Johnny's moving to the right side of him, and that's away from his power.
Edwards, a slick southpaw sniper, does a lot of work with that left kick, and in fact, Eblen moving forward, he's starting this fight orthodox. He had amazing success as a southpaw when he dethroned Gegard Mousasi for the championship.
He can fight both stances, and that's what it is. All the wrestlers get used to that.
And now he is.
That's why Johnny goes to that southpaw stance. It's a good place for him to shoot also, so you're going to see it moving back and forth.
Eblen punctuating both of his last 2 fights with certain suplexes in the final round. Did it against Mousasi, did it in his first title defense against Anatoly Tokov on CBS this past February. And those in his corner, the pressure cooker that is American top team feel that already he is the best middleweight on the planet, wants to cement that status tonight. And he has a lot of respect for Sean Strickland, who he's sparred with in the past.
A lot of the reason that ATT feels the way they do about Johnny Eblen is the way that he trains and the positions that he puts himself in training, the bad positions. He always puts himself in those places where you don't want to be. To figure out, how do I get out of it? How do I make it work for you? It's not easy
from the southpaw. Midway point of the first round, scheduled for 5. Sliding kick by Edwards. Ooh, nice right hand as a decoy looking for the takedown. And Edwards trying to take Edwards off his feet. Edwards, of course, improving his wrestling and his anti-wrestling. And he worked on it, John, after his loss to Austin Vanderford. And since then, well, 3 consecutive wins, and we've seen a marked improvement in his offensive and defensive wrestling.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that made his brother change levels as far as a fighter. Is his ability to all of a sudden start to wrestle, not only be a defensive wrestler, make it part of his offensive game. And Fabian has done that.
Eblen putting the pressure on Edwards, putting all of his weight around the fence. There's a knee and the elbow on the break. Solid Edwards taking a page out of Edwards' boat. As the break off the clinch, lands the elbow. Another kick by Edwards. Lead hand back.
That was a very nicely placed elbow attack. You always want to leave them on the exit. Leave them with something to remember.
Edwards to the lead leg of the southpaw Eblen. So Eblen now fighting from the southpaw stance. And of course in MMA, John, you blend your stances nowadays. Everyone's a switch hitter, or maybe should be. A lot of people working on both, and you have to. Yeah, not 2 minutes left to go.
You know, anytime you have that lead leg is what's going to be attacked. And it can only take so much before it starts to alter your movement, your balance, and everything. So you've got to be able to switch things up. I'm really impressed that Fabian has decided to, I'm going to make it to where I'm not going to move back a lot. Now, he moved back, obviously, on the takedown attempts and things like that, but in this stand-up, he's not giving ground. And that is a good sign because he's saying, I'm going to match your pressure.
Less than half a minute remaining in the opening round. Eblen, a stand-up wrestler at University of Missouri, producing Bellator champions Ben Askren, Michael Chandler, Strikeforce UFC champion Tyler Woodley, now Bellator champion Johnny Eblen. But Eblen 0 for 2 in the takedown department as we close out the first round of this Bellator middleweight championship fight. And a body kick in the left hand from Edwards at the end of the round. The bell of round 2, we take a look at the unofficial statistics. Edwards comes out fast in that opening round. Again, we mentioned over 2 in the takedown department for Eblen, although Big John McCarthy scored a 10-9 for Eblen. And he did have the advantage in terms of the strikes that were landing. And why did you end up giving him the 10-9 round, sir?
Honestly, it's all based on volume. It was just more volume by Johnny Eblen over. Standing in pressure and having aggressiveness is great, but you gotta throw shots. Fabian just needs to up that volume that he's putting out, which he seems to be doing here at the start of the second.
Eblen, as we mentioned, had never lost a round unanimously in 13 pro fights. That was a close first 5 minutes, but Eblen having the advantage in terms of the striking. And
absolutely was close. There was not much difference between it, but Eblen landed the better strikes with more of them. I'll give it that I thought that I was thinking it was like a lot of good kicks to the legs of Eblen, but that's really what I
fire shot and Edwards lands on his keister before he pops back up. Edwards said he was going to put the war on his last name, and there was a quick striking exchange, heavy shots, but then Eblen closes the distance and puts Edwards against the fence. And key to victory, you don't want to be against the fence against a guy like Eblen. And now Edwards on the break with the elbow strike.
That was a very nice elbow strike. Fabian's doing a good job with his left hand when he gets him tight. He's not using a lot on the outside with the range. He gets him tight, he's landing good shots for body. That was a nice elbow strike.
Oh, that was a nice straight right left hook combination by Eblen, and he closes the distance and now finding the range. Lands again, although Edwards taking some steam off of that shot, and Edwards goes back to the kicking department. And he told us that he was going to use a cavalcade of kicks. He felt that Mousasi and Tokov didn't kick enough against Eblen. That may be because, yeah, again, standout wrestler, University of Missouri, where injuries derailed his championship aspirations.
Yeah, when you talk about facing a wrestler, you have to be very careful of where you kick and when you can. Because being on one leg is not a good position to be against a good wrestler. So if Edwards believes that he can do that, you know, it's a great tool, and he's got a fantastic left leg. So I want to see him put that to use.
Edwards, who loves to watch those powerful left kicks. Just over 2 minutes left here in the second round, and Edwards establishing the jab again. Has that reach. Advantage on Eblen. Eblen shoots, naked shot, able to track Edwards down, but Edwards, and that's the other thing we've seen throughout his career. Edwards, as Eblen looks for the mount return, Edwards does a good job of once being taken down, getting back to his feet.
Well, he popped right to his feet on that. That was an absolute display in athleticism by Edwards, because he was put down. It was a driving tackle, double leg, and he got right to his feet right away. He's still in a position for Eblen to take advantage of this, but great athleticism and way to just make it happen.
And Edwards sending a message to Johnny Eblen by getting back to his feet following that takedown, and now making sure that he goes to stay in a vertical position despite being pinned against the fence. And this is where Eblen's going to unload and lands a nice combination.
Well, he was pinned against the fence right in his corner, and so that helped him a lot because he had his corner telling him the progression to go through to get free from Eblen.
Johnny Eblen, blood on his face, has shored up his striking at American Top Team. We talk about and he tells us how he has been able to put together his boxing and his wrestling to make himself a full-fledged mixed martial artist. And when you work under the tutelage of guys like Mike Brown and King Mo, you are under a very, very erudite learning tree. Let's not forget the training partners.
Right now, it's looking like all this pressure that you're getting from Johnny Eblen in this round is starting to have an effect. Fabian started taking a big deep breath. He needs to find a place to be able to catch that win.
We are through 2 rounds.
Here's Eblen inside, right against cage. There's that elbow that caused the cut. You see him right away. He wipes at it. Look at, boom, right there. And it's just a slicing one. Doesn't hit super heavy, but enough to cut Johnny Eblen. We'll see if that ends up having any effect in this fight.
Here tonight in the biggest fight of his life. And immediately, Eblen, living up to his new moniker, Johnny Pressure, goes back to putting the pressure on Edwards. There's the counter-striking ability of Edwards.
There's that left hand. We're talking about it. Here he goes down.
Johnny Eblen putting on the pressure on the ground and pound, looking to finish Edwards. What a sequence, because as we will see, Big John, it was Edwards that took the fight to and now it's your brother Leon, unfortunately, as he takes umbrage with the jubilation, but a huge win for the champion as Johnny Eblen improves to 14-0 with his 6th KO victory.
Well, we talked about there was no love lost in these guys. But let's take a look at the sequence here. Eblen gets hit with a beautiful left hand. That's what we were talking about right at the moment when all of a sudden that right hand finds the mark on the chin of Fabian Edwards, and he goes to try to defend. But right away, Johnny Eblen lands another right hand. That elbow strike and that right hand.
And the eyes say it all.
Absolutely.
For Fabian Edwards, and what a shot by Eblen, the power, and yeah, he lives up to the moniker, John. Johnny Pressure.
I don't know if they should go back and present it together.
That was a nice, beautiful shot right there that you saw by Johnny Eblen, putting him down, and then the ground and pound going after him. He is shot his opponent. Exactly. So you're going for that finishing sequence. There's that elbow right there, right to the temple. That's what puts him out. The elbow was the key. That's what hurt Fabian Edwards to the point he was done.
He came in with those at ATT proclaiming him as the best middleweight in mixed martial arts, and in doing so, he now takes himself to the next level, because not only did he win, he won in super impressive fashion, overcoming that nasty gash, that adversity, and he closes the show like you always want a champion to do, and sends, well, some of the crowd home happy. A lot of Fabian Edwards fans in attendance, of course, from England, but John overcoming that cut and proving to be a cut above here tonight.
He absolutely did, and that is a monster cut. Luckily, it did not bleed a lot. It didn't really have an effect in the fight, and a beautiful job by the cut man who took care of that, was able to make it to where that was not an effect in the fight and stop it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 21 seconds into round number 3. The winner by knockout, and still the undefeated Bellator middleweight world champion, Johnny "Pressure" Eblen.
A monster performance for Johnny Eblen. Let's go to Big John McCarthy, who's going to tack to the champ.
Looks super beautiful. This big cut. He got some tricky elbows, man.
I'm here with middleweight champion Johnny Eblen. You just defended your title for a second time. That fight started off a little slow and kept building and building. And then you received that cut. Did that cut change something in your mind that I have to get this fight over now?
Part of me was like, yeah, I don't know how bad this cut is. It feels pretty bad. So, I just stuck to the game plan, what my coaches were telling me to do. I didn't really change much. I just go in and I fight, man. I don't really think too much about it.
You came out, he took the middle of the cage, and you were the one circling at the beginning. Was that a surprise to you? But then you did start to use your pressure to change where the fight took place.
Yeah, early on, we wanted to kind of move our feet, stay on the outside, land some kicks, land some punches, see what he had for us. After the first, I felt like I could strike with him. Problem was, though, out of the clinch, I wasn't coming out safely, and he landed some pretty nasty elbows. That's why I got my cut. Yeah, man, this is how the fight game is, though. You know, you can't expect anything to happen going your way all the time.
Were you surprised by his defensive wrestling up against the cage?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. He did really well controlling my wrist. Did well popping up, but over time, I'm just gonna wear, like, it's gonna be harder and harder every time to get up.
Did you see that kind of happening at the end of the second round? I kind of thought he started to get just a little bit tired as the round was coming to an end.
He was getting a little bit tired, and he thought I was gonna turn into a wrestler, but I can still strike, man. I can strike for 5 rounds. I think I'm one of the best in the world, if not the best. I can strike, I can wrestle, I can grapple, I can do it all.
There's no doubt you're one of the best in the world. Congratulations on defending that title. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the middleweight champion of the world, Johnny "Pressure" Eblen.
There's Impa Kasanganay and Johnny Eblen, and the tail of the tape says, Johnny is 2 years older, 1 inch taller, has a reach advantage of 1 inch on both arms and legs.
All right, keys to victory for this one. For Kasanganay, he's got to defend the early takedowns. That has to be expected. Punches in bunches, it's usually the 3rd, 4th or 5th shot that lands for Kasanganay, and attacking the body always opens up his opportunities. For Johnny Eblen, if he can trap Kasanganay against the fence, he can nullify some of that movement. Punching into his takedowns will make it easier to get that clinch, and the body lock takedowns, when he can keep returning his opponent to the mat, is when he is at his most exhausting.
Andy Shepard, take it away.
The following fight is scheduled for 3 rounds of action in the middleweight division. And the winner will be awarded the Super Belt. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner and representing Bellator, He is a wrestling specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 185.5 pounds and holds a perfect, undefeated record of 17 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida by way of Kansas City, Missouri, he is the reigning Bellator middleweight champion, Johnny Eblen! And his opponent fighting out of the red corner and representing PFL. He is a striking specialist and stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in officially at 185.8 pounds and holds a record of 15 wins and 3 losses. Fighting out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, he is the 2023 PFL Light Heavyweight Champion, Chilobo Impact. Referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Brian Miner oversees the co-main event action. Chilobo Impact in the yellow trunks.
Johnny, you ready? Impa, you ready?
Johnny Eblen in the white. Right to the center of the smart cage. 2 incredibly fast fighters here. Kasanganay coming back down to middleweight. Drives behind a hard right hand. Eblen stays out of the way. Inside kick.
The thing I like about the way that Kasanganay moves forward is as he's punching left to right, he's bringing his feet with him, which means that when people level change, they level change onto square hips, making it a lot more difficult. Oh, that's a nice single leg. Look at that.
Single leg turns the corner. Look at that. Eblen heavy on the legs.
But let's see what Impa's going to do here, guys. Something tells me he's going to do whatever effort and work as hard as it takes to get back up to his feet. And that does change things. A wrestler's got to have a couple of moments on top just to catch his breath.
And this is something that was so interesting about his championship bout. Impa Kasanganay was able to defend these takedown attempts. Now, it was Josh Silveira, not Johnny Eblen, but he defended them and never really got fatigued, never got worn out by it, and continued to explode in these situations. There he works back to an underhook and goes chest to chest. He's not all the way out of trouble yet, but he's on his feet.
Notice this frame. Everything's right here. Everything's right here by Impa.
He did a great job there of digging that underhook back into place. You always want to be facing Johnny Eblen if you have to clinch the guy, because as soon as he gets that body lock from behind, you're going for a ride. Oh, that was a good knee.
And Impa's not rattled. He's not discouraged. He's already put that behind him and compartmentalized. I can see it on his face and by his eyes.
Put your right hip on the cage.
I can't imagine the situation where the Kasanganay would show any kind of emotion on his face like he's rattled.
Now on the cage.
Beautiful movement. A very calculated, intelligent, quietly spoken individual. Knows how to hide his cards very well.
But did eat a couple of elbows in that scenario. Johnny said that would be part of his game plan as he switches stances and avoids the combination from Impa.
Now the danger from Eblen now is that because Kasanganay has had to go through that process of getting back to his feet, the threat of the takedown could really open up strikes for Eblen.
Good length on that Eblen jab. He goes back downstairs with a leg kick. Impa's already slowed some of the bouncing of his posture here. And we've seen this theme earlier tonight. The offense from Eblen right now, stymieing some of that offense. We finally see Impa able to unleash a combination. When you force a fighter to stay on the defensive, you don't have as much to worry about coming back. Front kick almost to the forehead there of Eblen.
That was a beautiful little step to the side from Kasanganay.
Nice right hand.
I wonder what the lasting impression in Johnny Eblen's mind was of that first clinch, that moment. Did he think, my goodness, this man's incredibly strong, very difficult to control?
Well, one of the things that we talked about with Johnny Eblen in the fighter meetings is that his cardio is so incredible, and he will pressure you until you break. I mean, his nickname is Pressure. But Impa Kasanganay appears to have removed that as a possibility these last couple of fights with the level of conditioning he's come into the cage with. So what happens if Johnny Eblen is trying to wear you out and he's not able to? We might find that out tonight. Nice jab from Impa.
And sometimes athletes at this level of conditioning require the 25 minutes to make fatigue a weapon. In 15 minutes, I don't know if either of these guys are going to get tired.
I think Johnny did come away with some respect for Impa's grappling. I don't know that he's going to clinch him or be in a hurry to exert that kind of energy if he feels he can get some moments right here in a pick'em contest.
Twice now we've seen Impa catch Johnny coming in with hooks. Once with the right hand on the sidestep, just then on the left hand. Both fighters starting to get reads off one another. Second time we've seen him try that front kick right up the middle, Dan.
And that's a great deterrent for a level change as well. We remember what Henan Fajeda did to Jones as he level changed onto that shin bone. Good head movement as well by Kasanganay. Oh, that was a good cross.
Beautiful right hand there from Johnny Eblen. Good level change underneath the jab there from Impa.
Impa's starting to get comfortable, fellas.
Yeah,
he's starting to loosen up a little bit.
He really is.
Beautiful body shot, straight right. Uppercut, traded for a right hand.
Hey, Impa's about to steal this round. Johnny's got about 10 seconds here to do something fast and leave the judges.
Nice check hook again. Impa now with the pressure. And then he turns that angle. Flying knee attempt there from Impa.
He might have just stolen that round, guys.
Yeah.
Impa trying to steal it. He knows there's not a lot of time left. Look, I'm not saying it landed or hurt him. I'm saying what did impress the judges. Impa began to take over that round. Even had a body shot or two. He was also gaining ground, right? Perspective number one is damage, but number two is control.
Impa Kasanganay, Johnny Eblen, round number 2, body kick, and then a combination from Impa, who comes out much more aggressive here in the second frame. Oh, combination! Impa drops Eblen! Eblen trying to wrestle out of it here, grabs onto that single leg. Impa heavy on the sprawl, got that chin strap.
Got to free himself from that body lock though. Eblen's still dangerous even when he's rocked.
Beautiful. Oh, Impa with another combination. Finish with the uppercut, and now he's got the neck of Johnny Eblen and is cranking. Impa Kasanganay, furious start to round 2. Wobbles Eblen. He's got Eblen on the back foot here early.
Beautiful slip to a body shot. Nice level change by Eblen though. This is going to buy him a moment. But if Kasanganay can get 3 here, that could really shake the confidence of the undefeated fighter.
Remember, elbows are allowed here, so Johnny Eblen's going to have to be careful about keeping his head out on the side. Impa tried the flying knee as deterrent to this wrestle.
There's the Uriah Faber knee there.
He doesn't like it. Stay heavy. Good job.
This is exhausting as well. And look at Eblen's toes. He's only just postured into a position where he can start to now be offensive.
And look at the way that his chest is heaving as his body. I mean, that's not a good wrestling posture.
Grips in, chest up.
Impa Kasanganay staying heavy on the head, making Johnny Eblen carry that weight, and he steps out of another attempt here. Combination, Impa hammering away, eats an elbow from Eblen, but they continue to swing against the small cage barrier before clinching.
Impa's fought at 205 pounds and had a lot of success. We're seeing that size. We're seeing that strength right now. We're also seeing the fatigue of the weight cut is behind him. This is a guy that did everything right.
No, these wide.
It was a clubbing right hand from Johnny Eblen that came over the top there. He's backing on the legs, but again, he's not in an offensive posture. He's in a hold on and gather my senses posture right now. And if Kasanganay can start to use some of these chopping elbows, these Travis Brown elbows into the side of the head, that could really force Eblen to start to move.
He drops the kick.
Elevation here. Johnny Eblen got both feet off the ground for Impa for just a second, but there's that chopping elbow again. Eblen is very good at buying himself a little bit of space, framing out and hammering that into the side of his opponent's head. Appears to have recovered from whatever punching combinations landed and maybe wobbled Eblen a little bit early as we're halfway through round number 2.
And halfway through the round, right in the middle of the fight here. So we go back to what Mr. Sonnen was saying a moment ago. If Kasanganay won the end of that last round and stole it on the scorecards, what is this round looking like on the scorecards as well? I know, of course, he's in a defensive position here, but very little scoring is being done by Eblen.
Johnny loves that suplex. Impa can't give him the belly to back, and he knows it, trying to grab a Kimura grip on Johnny Eblen's left arm.
My biggest comment to what we're seeing right now by Eblen is good for him. He did not get frustrated with the takedown. Even though he hasn't done a lot to secure them, he's going back to them. He's going back to what he knows well. He's trying to win this fight. You see, many guys, they check out early. Eblen is still in this contest.
Absolutely. He's not undefeated for a reason. He knows how to win fights. Even when he's on the back foot like he was against Fabian Edwards, he knows how to recover. This is not a good position for Impa. He could potentially be caught in a twister here. I know we don't see them very often, but Eblen's got the right control on that right wrist of Impa Kasanganay.
Impa's going to try and get his left hip elevated. Johnny Eblen rides over.
And the thing is, this marauding, falling style that Eblen's got, you don't even have to be fully conscious to be able to do it. He's working on instinct a lot of the time here.
1 minute left in round number 2. A very interesting frame so far. Can Eblen use this last minute to rip in between rounds?
Look at the fast hands of Impa Kasanganay, as well as the head movement. We can't understate the effectiveness of his ability to move his head out of the way. Even in these pockets, the effectiveness of his ability to move his head out of the way. Even in these pockets when he's trading, landing power shots. I mean, any one of those fights could have been a fight ender. Just not quite landing clean enough to put Eblen down. A beautiful uppercut, really well timed there. That to me seemed like the most consequential of all of the shots in that round. And here's a takedown attempt here from Eblen, who scrambles and scrambles to keep a hold of Impa Kasanganay, who gets a little bit of space to open up with a flurry. Both of these guys a little bit labored, though, here I'm seeing. They've been working really hard for 10 minutes. And there's the beautiful body lock takedown from Eblen. Clamped onto the back of Kasanganay. He was able to maintain that position for a good part of the rest of that round.
What an incredible recovery from Johnny Eblen in the second part of that round. But again, was it enough to sway the judges in his favor after being knocked down? Third and final round here. PFL versus Bellator champs. Impa Kasanganay.
He keeps doing that. Eblen standing from a southpaw stance. He's throwing a big left hand, and Kasanganay is weaving underneath it and cracking him in the head with a counter shot.
And look at the recovery from Impa. Mouth is closed again, breathing through his nose. He sees the swelling under Johnny Eblen's eye. He sees the heavy legs. Nice jab, good movement there from Impa to stay out of range. Really impressive performance from both of these fighters, and that's exactly what we thought we would see.
I would be so curious amongst the athletes how they think the fight is going. Does Eblen believe he needs this? Does Impa believe he needs this? Are we trying to beat each other still, or are we just trying to run out the clock? It's very interesting to me, the psychological side going on in this match right now.
We saw Impa Kasanganay in our PFL 2023 season. His left hook is a formidable weapon, and he's landed it several times on Johnny Eblen, who wears it and continues to come forward. Leg kick there. Traded for a couple punches, though. Might not be the winning formula for Impa Kasanganay this late in the fight.
He left his head on the center line for that calf kick. I feel like he came off on the worst end of that, especially on the judge's perspective.
Sweeping right hand landed there for Eblen. Eblen still bringing his feet with him when he throws those punches. Nasty combination here from Eblen.
Best punch for Eblen so far of the fight.
Good jab.
Impa's not fighting with an urgency. There's two reasons why. Possibly he's fatigued and can't possibly, he thinks he's up 2 rounds to none. I'm only sharing that with you because it could be at any moment now. Impa puts his foot down and tries to steal some points, but he hasn't done it this round yet.
He went for the body shot there with the uppercut. Johnny made him pay with the left hook. Both men scoring in these combinations and these exchanges. Nice movement there. Good slip and rip from Impa Kasanganay. Look at the right eye of Johnny Eblen. Jousting jab from Eblen and right hand behind it this time.
This is a much better round for Eblen, this is. Even though he's taking some shots moving forward, he is scoring and he is bullying Impa Kasanganay at the moment with pace.
Now Impa offers one back. and circles out. Impa on the back foot right now. Johnny Eblen, this is the pressure that he talked about.
Yeah, you're seeing that conditioning. You can see it on his face. You can see it by the way he's breathing. Eblen is back into the contest.
More than halfway through the round, right around 2 minutes left.
I love that rollout that he's doing underneath the right hand. He's used it several times already in this fight.
Big John McCarthy, rules expert, legend in the game, has great insight on how these fights are supposed to be scored. John McCarthy, who's winning this fight right now?
I'll tell you what, this fight is anybody's fight right now. You can sit there and say, Impa hurt Johnny in the second round. I'm going to give him that round. I don't care how much Johnny did in coming back. But the first round I was going to give to Johnny Eblen. So right now, this is anybody's fight.
And a huge takedown here with 90 seconds remaining in round number 3 in a razor-close fight. The wrestling for Eblen really comes into play, controlling that bottom leg of Impa Kasanganay. He's got to find a way to get that back to the mat if he wants to stand up.
Impa was even thinking reversal there. He tried to pull those hips on top.
I think he tried to boss that a little bit too much power. This is much better, but he has given his back. He needs to get that left elbow inside the crook of Johnny Eblen's elbow and turn to face him.
High rock here from Johnny Eblen. Now you can see the fatigue on Impa's face. Eblen going for the choke late.
Kasanganay looks like he's safe, but he's still not a good position to be in from a scoring perspective. And as you said, Chelsea, there's no real urgency from Impa this round.
Eblen's got himself into a very good position. You know, the fence is such an interesting component to this sport, by the way. It will always help one guy, it will always hinder one guy, but it all depends on the position. They can trade that fence back and forth.
A late surge here from Johnny Eblen with the right eye swollen shut, showing you why he is an undefeated mixed martial artist. Impa flailing away. Elbows landed there from Kasanganay, and they hammer away to the final bell. What an incredible fight between these two monsters.
Really fantastic performance from both of them, to be honest. I would love to see 2 more rounds of this one. If these guys ever get a rematch, it's got to be at 25 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Ben Cartlidge scored this bout 29-28 for Eblen. Judge Mark Collett scored about 29-28 for Kasanganay. And Judge Mohammed Hadid scores about 29-28 for your winner via split decision, Johnny Eblen.
Johnny Eblen improves to 15-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Johnny Eblen, still undefeated, Bellator champ, the super champ as well. He's got the belt with the ring and everything. Tell me about that fight.
Hey man, it was a close fight. Second round, he caught me, and I had to fucking show up and be a champion, so it is what it is, but sometimes you're gonna get knocked down in life, and you gotta fucking get back up and get back in there and fucking win it.
And in that second round where you were taking a few shots, what was going through your mind? Because you were trying to clear your head on the fence, it seemed.
Honestly, I was just surviving for a little bit. He caught me pretty good, so I was gathering my wits, and then I was back to dominating the fight.
And talk to me about this beautiful belt. It's got a ring on it. Have you ever had a belt with a ring before?
Never, and this is gonna hold a special place in my heart, man. This was a tough-ass fight. I'm in fucking Saudi Arabia. Thank you guys are amazing. And fighting in the middle of the desert outside, different time zone, man, this is crazy, bro. I can't believe I'm here right now.
Congratulations, my friend. That was a fantastic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the super champ, Johnny Eblen!
Give it up to Johnny Eblen!
Look at this, come on. This production is second to none. Look at him, he's on his throne. I gotta tell you, I'm so envious right now. This is what every young fighter dreams of, but it happened successfully for Eblen.